Coors Light.
The Thursday edition. Are we still doing this? Like, it was fun when Andrew Whitworth joined us, a surprise guest at Tausch's behest. That was the best. But I don't want to do this anymore. You're hung up on an exchange from the 60s, man. I got A.Q. Shipley and Pat McAfee. I've not heard this. I don't want to hear it, but we're going to hear it anyway edition. Also, the no Jesse, no problem. Josh DiMaggio is here edition of Wilde and Tausch. Where did the music go? Music's gone. We ran out of music already?
It's gone already.
On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Briefly on 100.5 ESPN Madison and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Got WIAA state football coverage coming your way along those airwaves. You can also catch us on ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker. Streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, on Wisconsin On Demand. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is working. He is working. We're not going to tease him for not working. He's not working the show, however. Josh DiMaggio is our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better, from the One Call That's All studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Hi, Joshy.
Hey, Jason. How are you?
I'm good. And the star of the show, the Packers Hall of Famer. Not a member of the Ring of Honor, although if they had one, he'd be in it. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
They do have a Ring of Honor, and I'm not in it.
They don't. So it's not. It's just names on the facade for Hall of Famers.
No, we've went over this. That is
we have.
a Ring of Honor.
No, just because it's in the shape of a ring, it's not a Ring of Honor. It's a list of Hall of Famers.
Okay, so, all right, we're honoring former players in a ring around the stadium, but it's not a Ring of Honor.
Well, if the stadium was square, what would it be? It's just their names.
Square of
it's
Honor.
Not.
Rectangle.
We're not inducting them into the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, rhombus
They've been
honor.
inducted in the Hall of Fame. The rhombus of honor.
Whatever.
That I kind of like.
There is a Ring of Honor. I'm not. That was the whole point of my conversation with my guy Ian.
Yeah. Well, we love
that.
Ian. What I don't love is that this continues. You sent this along. I want to express my sincere appreciation for having Andrew Whitworth on the show yesterday. If you missed it, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand. He was fun. You did that unbeknownst to me, and he was great. And I really enjoyed it. I really like him. I like him as a dude. Everything I've heard and been told by people that covered him has been very positive. He reinforced that yesterday. I can let go of my brief grudge for him helping make me look like an idiot on social media. We talked to Joe Barry later today. I'm trying to figure out, Joe, can you explain to me how outside linebackers become defensive ends when they're not listed that way on the roster, and the roster is really where you say what position a guy plays. But I'm not going to do that.
I do think asking him what goes into his mindset on why you play nickel versus certain offenses and why you don't, because I think everybody agrees you get to 3rd and 5+, you're going to go nickel or dime, and you're going to have your blitz package and everything else. But 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, so that part of it would be interesting. And then also, what makes you decide to go wide 5s and wide 9s to that degree? Like, there's a lot of really good questions, and I think what would be great Joe Barry will, illustrate and tell you exactly what, a wide technique is when you're not really tight on the body. You're very wide. So you're going to get good insight. And I think the follow-ups will be, well, at some point when you're giving up 205 yards to a team that doesn't run that well,
don't you need to try something else?
Going into ask him a bear. See if he'll explain bear front to you. A lot of times when teams are running the football, they'll go bear front.
Packers call it penny.
Ask him
don't
about
they?
that. Huh?
The Packers
Penny,
call it
yes.
penny, don't they? Got to be specific.
Well, they
with
can't
your
call
words,
it bear
Jason.
front. Yeah, I'll ask him to describe penny too. But
they call bear front penny fronts now. That's what
I
they're
believe
doing?
so. Yes.
Okay.
Nickel, dime, penny. You guys ran dollar in St. Louis. That was Ed Donatel's big plan against the greatest show on turf to run 7 DBs. So nickel, dime, dollar, 5, 6, 7 DBs. Of course, it didn't really matter because your quarterback threw 6 picks, 3 of which were returned for tutters. Now, I will ask Joe Barry those questions. Jason, we don't call it a bear front because that was really started by the Chicago Bears, and they're our rivals, so we had to come up with something different. Now, the reason we call it penny is that's a coin, and we also use coins for nickel and dime, and so we decided to call it penny. And a penny is only worth 1 cent, whereas the nickel is worth 5 and the dime is worth 10. But it doesn't make sense that we call it dime because we don't have 10 defensive backs out there, so it's very confusing.
Okay.
I would like to know if I'm going to be irritated by this Pat McAfee thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you know that that's going to occur, why do you do it?
Well, no, it's not. They're not ripping you, but you get some
Yes,
love.
they are.
And then McAfee says
No.
Wild, and then I called him Wildy, and so it's fun.
But your initial answer, am I going to be irritated? You said
No,
yes. It's not fun.
You get irritated easier than you should. This shouldn't irritate you.
Now you're
at all,
irritating
but
me
it
more.
will. No, it should not irritate you in the slightest, but I know it will. But again, you're all about growth. That's what I've heard. You want to grow.
It's not linear.
And my thing to you is, they're talking about Wilde and the beat reporter, and it's not the most flattering, but it's not the worst by far. And as our boy Jocko said, oh, you're frustrated that they're talking about you? Good. So that's why I thought it'd be fun. No comment back from you, though. Normally you'll send it, and I send a lot of stuff, and sometimes it just gets washed over. Nobody cares. Fine. This one I had to send twice because I didn't get any response from either of you. Or Josh.
Nor did you get a response the second time, and I've got a response for you now, but we're on video, so I can't give it to you. All right,
Blank
here. All right, well, that's for the good of the team, for the entertainment of our avid listeners. Again, I have not heard this. I saw you sent it. I knew what it was. I knew I was going to be irritated.
And in
so I thought I'd
fairness,
save my irritation for the air.
I did not hear this either. I got it sent to me 3 different ways from people that do not work for our company. Just so you know. I would not have seen this otherwise.
Who are they?
I don't reveal sources.
They're not sources. They're sending you links in text messages. That's not a source.
No, they're sources. That's
Cribsy.
Your source is my source, and my source is your source. I'm keeping my sources close to the vest on this one.
All right, well.
His initials
go.
are JP. One of them is JP.
John Palermo sent you this?
Maybe. Maybe it was. Probably not, but maybe.
All right, here we go. The discussion of Matt LaFleur and Jason Wilde, apparently, on the Pat McAfee Show.
Apparently, Matt LaFleur got pretty pissed off.
He did.
2 defensive linemen in the game, nickel defense.
You're exposing yourself. You don't know ball.
I mean, they're defensive ends when it goes to nickel. I mean, you got to know this.
Oh, Matt LaFleur?
Matt, did you see this?
No, I didn't.
I missed this too, yeah.
What happened?
He got pissed because, one of the reporters was like, hey, nickel defense, you only have 2 defensive linemen in the game.
Oh, no. Who asked?
I don't know who it was.
Jason Wilde. He's been there for a while.
Wilde.
Jason Wilde.
Oh, I was the Wild with an E.
Yeah, bingo.
Okay, that's Wilde?
Yeah.
He does a show with Tausch.
Oh, Tausch Wilde.
I'd like to
He
tell
even said it. he even said, he's like, oh, Tausch is going to kill me tomorrow for this.
Well, I want to let Mr. Wilde know I've been pronouncing that in my head as Wilde every single time I've seen
Also
it.
cool.
I appreciate him giving an opportunity to LaFleur to kind of flex his stuff a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good, huh, Jason? Wild. That was wild.
Is there more? Because I'm not like
No, that's
AJ Hawk stood up for me. He put your name first on the
Exactly.
marquee too, which I appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why you get all hot and bothered by this
Wait, you
stuff.
said you didn't hear it either. You
No, I
lied
heard
to
it
me.
after I got the clip sent to me, and I watched
Oh.
it. I didn't
So
hear
wait,
it
do they-
live or
Do they continue on then to talk
I don't
about
know.
what an imbecile
That's
I am?
all I heard. No, I don't think. Maybe I don't know. That I don't know.
Okay. Well, thank you to AJ Hawk. Do you think we could get him on the show this week? Since you're
I
booking
think
guests left and
McAfee-
right.
No, I'm done booking for the week. I'm worn out. But McAfee gave you some props, and I know you guys have had a little consternation. And Scuba Chad got after you the other day for your whatever it is with McAfee. So I just thought it was a fun little clip. That's all.
It was fun. Joshy, what did you think of that? And did you edit it down so I would not get irritated and ruin the show?
I usually like to take out Jesse here, but he did edit that down himself. I hadn't listened to it. I expected it to be harsher. I think it was fine.
Yeah. It was way better than I thought.
Yeah,
Frankly.
I expected you to get called a bozo or a dummy or something along those lines. So I think it's a W for you. Just getting talked
Yeah,
about.
I'm taking
big
that as a
platforms.
W. Yeah, it's a win. Thank you, Pat McAfee, and whoever else was involved there besides AJ Hawk. All right, so let's get back to the original point, which is Joe Barry talks today, and regardless of whether you call them outside linebackers, defensive ends, or fudgesicles, whatever you want to call them, the bottom line is they're really wide, and they're not doing a great job out of that alignment of stopping the run. And that is the point of the whole thing. And so I would like to get some answers on that. And so I look forward to that opportunity from Joe Barry. I can tell you this, a source, one of my sources, informed me that Joe Barry did watch that exchange, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, so he'll be ready for old Wilde or Wild. Wild.
Yeah, let me ask you this based on my sourcing. And it's not someone who works for the Packers anymore. What would you say he viewed that as?
He viewed
supportive of him, or because if you keep watching the whole clip, it ain't that supportive of him. Even the misdirection play of talking about defensive ends and outside linebackers to distract at first. So, if you were Joe Barry and you heard the whole thing, what would you think, Tausch?
I would think that what I did Sunday didn't work. I better get my blank together. That's what I would think.
Yeah, I think that's what Matt LaFleur was trying to say.
Call it a penny, call it a Bitcoin. You can call it whatever the hell you want. Don't give up 205 yards rushing to a really average running football team. And again, I think if you want to break this down and look at it, just listen to what, and I don't usually consider myself an expert. At least I won't say it myself. I do think I'm an expert on a lot of stuff. In this regard,
who are you?
I'm trying fake humility this morning. I
That's
thought
a good
Bulaga and
quality.
I, when we were breaking that down, and the biggest thing that I think Joe Barry understands but needs to execute with his group is you can't make things clean and easy.
Right.
You go wide 9 and a tight 2, you do the math, that's 7, and I know it doesn't equal up that way when you start gapping it out, but that's 7 quote-unquote gap spots that are wide open. And yeah, you have a linebacker stand there, but you make it clean and easy for offensive linemen to count and to combo block or to zone block up to and give them time and space to do it. That's bad news Bears stuff, man. And I'm guessing if you talk to Pittsburgh's offensive line, they would tell you, boy, were we surprised that they allowed us to do what we were going to do. That they didn't adjust or make any or do anything. And again, if you look at it, after the second or third drive, the Packers D was better, but that's, the whole Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play outside of that? I mean, you could say all those great things, but there still was way too much bad stuff that happened. And you're doing it because time and space is everything in football. Read option, everything else. If you give quarterback time to ride the mesh point, see what's going on, rather than get after him and make a quick decision, you're going to get your tails beat every week. And what you saw last week when you did the defenses that he was critical of, and by the way, Matt, you're right, Jason, Matt LaFleur was critical of it too. Listen to it. Joe Barry's not anyone. He wasn't abdicating Joe Barry there. He was just filibustering and getting after you because he's frustrated that why the hell do we keep giving up 200-plus yards rushing to teams that aren't even that good at running the football? Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
And Jason, the Bad News Bears were a Little League team in a movie coached by Walter Matthau, different than the Chicago Bears. That's where we get our bear front, which we call Penny. All right, you are an expert. That stuff that you and Bulaga did talk about yesterday was insightful. Again, folks can find that on WisconsinOnDemand.com on the Wisconsin On Demand app. Speaking of experts, when it comes to Windows, there is only one expert, and her name does not get mispronounced. Gina Della. It rhymes with Pella.
Absolutely it doesn't. We can't control inflation, skyrocketing prices. If our defensive coordinator is going to keep running out wide 9 techniques and give up wide gaps for running backs to run through, we can't control that. There is something you can be done at home, and that's dramatically lowering your energy costs year-round by replacing your drafty, old, stinky, creaky windows and doors. Pella Windows and Doors can have them installed in as little as 6 weeks, and now can save even more by taking advantage of no interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
We'll talk a little bit about what Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur talked about yesterday. We'll talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
I cannot every week. What are you adding?
I think your nickname is now the Crying Queen.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
Is that like the ABBA song Dancing Queen?
Yeah.
Just changed the word.
Yeah.
Crying Queen.
You're so mean. You're the Crying Queen.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount Liquor.
Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. See Sleeper Support Center for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-522-4700 for help. Think you know sports? Then try to turn your sports knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick your favorite sports and players, like football star Bryce Young. With more stats than any other sports app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players. From pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more or less from the predicted stats and ka-ching. You could win up to 100 times your money if your pick wins. With the Sleeper app, you can make picks anytime, even after the game starts. Check out Sleeper today and unlock one of the fastest growing fantasy sports apps in the world. Download right now and get up to $100 deposit match. Use promo code Milwaukee and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Just go to the App Store, download the Sleeper app today, and remember to use code Milwaukee for up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's promo code Milwaukee.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
To say,
So Matt LaFleur spoke yesterday. He'll speak again today after practice. And while there were a couple of things that stood out, and then we'll hear from Jordan Love a little bit later, Tausch, one of the things is, once again, he's not doing a very good job. And I feel like your criticism of the London trip was the first time that I paused to think, these interactions, they really do resonate in the locker room for good or for bad. And you were 100% right about his attitude about London. His attitude about Jaire Alexander is starting to really make me wonder what's going on there. And as you know, I don't want to question the seriousness of a guy's injury. I don't think that's my job. I don't think it's appropriate. I question it because of the way his coach is behaving when asked about it. I asked him if Jaire has gotten better, worse, or if he's the same. And, he started with an irritated answer. Well, I can't practice. And then I think he caught himself and said, he's getting better, he's just not there yet. When a coach is frustrated, did you see this? You talked about Charles Woodson and his practice schedule. Did you see it with guys that, and obviously you're not going to say who they were, but did you see it with guys where either you or coaches or both were wondering, is this guy really hurt? Because that's the vibe he gives off, whether it's accurate or not.
Yeah, I think you have to tread very carefully.
Yes, I agree.
It's just a different era, too. There was never a doubt in my mind that Mike Wall was going to play if he was dinged up, or Marco Rivera was going to play if he was dinged up, or Mike Flanagan was going to play. My Frankie Winters rips his biceps tendon, plays the rest of the season. It's just different now. Guys are a lot more thinking about long-term health, and it's probably a heck of a lot smarter. But I can't sit here and say, outside of maybe one or two guys when there was potentially some contract disputage, I can't think of my 11-year run that I could say, that dude didn't want to play. He didn't want to be out there. And I'll say this, if there was, it was at the back end of my career. The game changed, and the money and everything else, and I think the influence from outside forces changed. And I don't think, by the way, I don't think that's a bad thing health-wise. But from a team standpoint, now I think more teammates would tell a player, I'm not going to even say the name of said players, but they would say, yeah, you got to take care of you. You got to take care of you. Where Marco Rivera is probably one of the all-time warriors that I ever played with. He'd tear a knee up, he'd bust his hand, and he was going to be back. He not only play, he was going to fight to practice because he just knew in his mind he needed to.
Right.
And when you have those guys and you're a young player looking at it, you're saying, well, I ain't missing practice. Well, I'm going to miss practice because my ankle's sore? No. And now it's more, hey, man, take care of yourself. Hey, you got this contract. Hey, be smart. Be smart with what you're doing. So it's just a different era. And I think fans probably don't like it. I know coaches don't like it.
Right.
And I'm guessing the frustration level, coaches, I think, expect certain things when you get broke off. And they expect you to lead, to set that example. And when you're not doing that, and then when you're not playing, I think you can misguide some of your angst because you're frustrated because your team's struggling, and you know that if said player was going to get out there, that would help. And it would help build, and it helps set your culture. And I think in today's era, you're not going to see those same guys. The days of the Marco Riveras are getting to be very slim. Very slim.
And he's the first person I think of when it comes to this, of playing, like tearing your MCL and playing anyway the following week when you have no business doing it.
Busted wrist. And Mike Wall, too, and I just think back to he'd have this big old club. And he started utilizing it where he'd use the left-handed club and he kind of just jabbed the guy in the face mask and his head would knock back, but he couldn't grab or do anything. And it was all inadvertent, quote-unquote. But it's just guys were not going to do everything in their power to get out there and play. Everything. And do I feel that same way now? I think there's still some guys like that, but I think there's more guys, and especially if a team maybe is struggling, I think there's more guys that are probably going to look at it big picture, financially and physically, and from a business standpoint. And when everybody says, hey, this is a business, that's what they're talking about.
So you said when a guy gets broke off, meaning gets a big contract, that the
Jason, when I say when someone gets broke off, what that means is someone gets a big fat contract and they're set generationally, wealth-wise, from what the NFL pays them. That's what getting broke off.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, that's what I was going for there. So Jaire Alexander did get broke off, paid a significant sum of money. So he's not in the mode that, say, Devontae Adams could have been after not getting an extension of, I got to look out for myself kind of a thing. So I'd be curious. And again, this is all because, and I'm criticizing Matt LaFleur here. Like,
yeah, no, I know you are.
I think you have to be careful of this because no one, I can tell you this, none of the beat writers, Wilde and the rest of them, would go and flat out without any sort of conversation about Jaire's shoulder. If the head coach wasn't behaving this way, we would accept it as, hey, that he must have played through it at the end of that Rams game. If it's now kept him out 1 week and probably going to keep him out this week, we'll see if he practices today. But like our default setting is believe the injury because you're a dink if you're the kind of beat writer who says, maybe he's not really hurt. But the way the coach is behaving has led to this. The problem that I have, if that's the case, is you're not protecting yourself trying to get paid. You did get paid. And that's where the issue comes in. And there's very few veteran players here. These guys need to look to you because they've got Valentine. Now we got Kai Blue, who may or may not be related to Blue of Earth, that they've added. Kai Blue Kelly. That he may have to play. Robert Rochelle the musical, hurt himself during the game last week. So this is where they're at a corner. And if they don't have Jaire Alexander against Justin Herbert, that's probably problematic.
Yeah, I just think from Matt LaFleur's standpoint, what are you gaining by doing that? And I think sometimes because he's a nice guy, I think he wants to kind of give you guys something or acquiesce a little bit. And Matt LaFleur's job has to always be, he should be taking all the shrapnel. Coaches take shrapnel. just like Roger Goodell takes shrapnel for the owners, the coaches, that's part of their job. And when you're dealing with injuries, you never hear coaches get into great detail because, A, they don't really know, and when they do know, there's nothing they can do about it. So you just say, yeah, I don't know, we'll see, watch practice, and we'll have an injury report. The fact, I agree with your assessment on Jaire because it's been pretty obvious he's frustrated by it. And when coaches are frustrated, usually if it's a big injury, coaches are sad, and they're deflated for you. When there's other things, coaches have a hard time masking that when they feel that way. So I think your viewpoint on this is very interesting, and I think Matt LaFleur needs to be a better poker player because he's letting that out, and I don't think that's helping anyone in the locker room because if I'm Jaire Alexander and his reps, I'm looking at this saying, does my coach have my back?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
That'd be a great question to ask Jaire.
I would love for him to talk today. There's no doubt about it. And for the record...
By the way, Jaire, if you're listening, don't take the rat poison from Wilde. Don't get into this game. Now, for the show, I hope he does. But for the locker room and where they're at, I hope he doesn't. But rat poison Wilde, you'll find a way to get that in there and see what he can do. That could be a new nickname
poison
for him.
Wilde.
RPW.
At this point, I think I definitely prefer Jay Bird to rat poison Wilde. There's no two ways about that. All right, I will try, if he does come in, I will try to ask him about that. But look, my other point is, if you want him to get back, this isn't the way to do it. Like, if you're not sure about how serious his injury is, I'm getting up there and I'm going, look, Jaire's hurt, and that hurts our team. But he needs to take care of himself. But we're a different team when he's on the field. He is a field-tilting player. He brings so much energy. You guys saw me give him the game ball after the Rams game. That wasn't just because he tipped that interception. It was also because of the energy and the positivity and everything he meant to be out there. That's what I'm doing if I'm up there trying to get him to play.
Raise him up and get him to feel like, man, this team needs me so bad.
Yes.
I got to get out.
Yes.
You don't alienate, because what happens, you do it with me, and if you want to get the reverse action, you tell me how I should do something. And I will fight you on it if I don't think you're bought in. That's what happens.
That's why Tausch used to tell all of those opponents that he was blocking how great they were. You should have been at least 3 or 4 more Pro Bowls. All right.
You're 100%.
We got to move on.
Oh, look at Jesse. Hey, nice job, boys, getting out at 9:30. Let's run this thing till 10 with no taking a break, just for Jesse.
We say goodbye, or already have, to Madison.
They're still here.
Beaver Dam.
We can run the clock out a little more.
But
4 corners.
No, Josh.
Let's go 4 corners. Dean Smith, this bad boy.
I'm going to tell you about Steinhafels, whether you can hear us in Madison and Beaver Dam or not. Get the best deals of the season on a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhafels. Tempur-Pedic mattresses relieve pressure points and support the body as no other mattress can. And right now you can save up to $500 on adjustable base sets. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Queen sets start at just $42 a month when you use special 72-month Steinhafels financing. Shop online or in person at steinhafels.com or in store. We say goodbye to Jesse and to Madison and Beaver Dam and continue on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and all the other ways you can listen to Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Can we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, it's Gary Olson here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? No matter the season, rain, snow, or shine, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is open for you. A top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. Just $35 an hour gets you a round and puts that summer feel back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together in a new Chevy. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Isn't this the best time of year? Wisconsin has the green and gold, Milwaukee hoops, Wisconsin football, basketball, and volleyball. What more can Wisconsin sports fans ask for? As Wisconsin's 3PL, Evans Transportation knows that it takes a team effort to make things happen. And when it comes to manufacturers' accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, Evans is the supply chain team you're looking for. Good luck to all Wisconsin teams from Wisconsin's 3PL in Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com. That's evanstrans.com.
Are you looking for a way to make an impact this holiday season? Make a splash by donating to the Life Navigator Soap and Suds Drive. It's simple. Your donation of body wash, hand sanitizer, lotion, or laundry pods will help local kids and adults with disabilities stay safe, happy, and healthy all year long. Please consider donating this holiday season to the Life Navigator Soap and Suds Drive. Learn more on how you can donate this holiday season at lifenavigators.org. Life Navigators is your disability partner. Learn more at lifenavigators.org.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
It started with a whisper.
We'll get to my back and forth with Jordan Love here momentarily. But first...
You guys got a nice little thing going there, don't you?
What? Who? Me and Jordan?
You and Jay Love. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, you teased me early in the year.
You like him. Jimmy Leonard, you like him, right?
I do. I think
Chris,
he's a...
I like him. I'm going to preface everything I say by I like him.
Yeah, I think it's important to notice that there are definitely people where I don't preface what I say by saying
I'm well aware. Bill Sure.
That is not the exhaustive list. Okay, just to be clear. Now, I just flat out say it.
If I power
publicly,
if I'm power ranking your do not like list, I think I named 2 of the 5 on there. Who else is on there, Jason? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not telling you.
Bob again.
I don't find that to be productive.
Oh, Bobby B. Oh, Bobby M. Yep, that's fair.
There's no doubt he's on the list. Yes.
Well,
now,
listen, we're well aware.
are you suggesting I don't hide my disdain for individuals very
you're
well?
horrible. You're a horrible you'd be a horrible poker player.
You and Matty LaFleur.
Yeah, you and Matty Ice.
All right, so I want to get Josh involved. Although the drop
you really
of
like
Bob
Devondre
McGinn's name,
Campbell either. I don't feel like you're a big D. Campbell fan.
He is going to get fined by the National Football League soon. Devondre Campbell is.
No talkie. No talkie.
No talkie.
Wild. So wild.
Not talking to anybody. Which again, if he wants
All right,
to,
let's get to
if he'd
Jordan
rather,
Love. This is on me. This one's on me. I got us in a tangent I didn't need to. This one's on me. I'm stepping up and saying I screwed this up. But Bob McGinn's at the top of your list.
Yeah, probably. All right, so we'll get to Jordan Love next. Before that, Joshy, you made a comment while we were off the air about kind of the Matt LaFleur isms that we have seen that are perhaps creating schisms. That was poetic. And the list is starting to get longer for you, is it not?
Yeah, when the 2 down linemen thing happened famously earlier this week, I started to piece together things that have happened this season that would have amounted to what I would call temper tantrums for Matt LaFleur. We started with the David Bakhtiari injury issue and the weird way he addressed that. We moved on then to, I believe, next came the Bill Huber, where he said that was a bogus question man or something along those lines. Then we moved on to the first time the Jaire Alexander injury came up, and he had a curt, short response. Then the 2 down linemen, and now again, Jaire Alexander and his injuries. I'm trying to figure out, because I certainly have opinions on it, but what am I to do?
What is it?
I'm going to ask the question,
opinions?
and then I'll give my opinion.
Okay.
What am I to do with the fact that Matt LaFleur this season, more than anyone previous, is seemingly having these temper tantrums, lash outs, whatever you want to call them, when he's never really done this before? To me, it feels like a guy who's used to being a front runner, and when the pressure starts getting on you and things aren't going your way, you kind of lash out in response to all of these things. Because adversity is part of being an NFL coach. And when you're not 13-3 and you're not cruising to the most important 1 seed ever, you start lashing out and leaving all these breadcrumbs for everyone to think, what the hell is going on with our head football coach?
And I think Joshy thinks they're not breadcrumbs; they're like full loaves of bread with his behavior.
You basically just said he's a huge front runner, is what you said.
I did, yeah.
Which is, I'll say this. I've said before that he has never had to deal with adversity as a head coach until last year, because he never had a 2-game losing streak. His teams always bounce back, and when the playoffs hit and you lose, the season's over, and you don't really deal with the media. You have the exit interview, and then it's on to the next season. So he never had a really – obviously, he stewed in it, and it stings because every playoff loss leaves a scar. But last year, I didn't think he handled it very well. This year, he is not. And Barry Alvarez used to always say during a season, we're going to be judged on how we handle adversity. I don't know what the adversity's going to be, but there's going to be something that comes up. And the one year it was Barry Alvarez himself and his knee and his health and that he couldn't coach. How do we handle it? We went up and won. That is what coaching, that's such a huge part of it. And I think Matt LaFleur, he has not handled adversity well. Even Jason, who's his staunchest advocate, no offense, Jason, he has not handled adversity well. And I think you just watch him on the sideline, and this is why I've been uber critical of him this year and mostly last year, because that's when a coach needs to be steady. Players don't want a roller coaster riding coach. I don't want to know. I want to know when we lose, hey, things are going to get a little dicey. But I don't want it to be every week that it's who is coming in that door. I don't want it to be, is it going to be Jekyll or Hyde? I want it to be, you know what, our coach is coming in, he's going to be pissed because we didn't play well. Or where this is going to be the correction. I want consistency and coaches that are flatliners. I don't know many great coaches. Yes, when you go on your roller coaster ride, that's what I want. I want it to be sparse. I don't want it to be every week. You can't win in the NFL riding roller coasters. You got too many guys on the back. You got some guys that have motion sickness. You got guys that don't like roller coasters. It needs to be steady Eddie so that more people can be in the mix on it. And that doesn't mean you don't have any passion. That doesn't mean you don't crack a Gatorade jug once in a while. Or you smash a grease board. I don't mind that. I like seeing the human element. And I always told you, Mike Sherman, his best coaching was when he took a deep breath and just let us in to who he is. And we rallied around that. If I was advising Matt LaFleur, I would say, talk about your family and your kids and let your team in to what you're doing. Because you are going through some adversity. And I love the fact that finally there was none of this youth as an excuse or anything else, because nobody gives a rip about that part. They just don't. And the sooner you can get your head wrapped around that, the sooner everybody else will, and the sooner you're going to start seeing improvement. And you know what? We saw improvement last week. So hopefully that will continue on.
I want to get to what Jordan Love said about the idea of letting it rip, which is something that Matt LaFleur had emphasized to him last week. We'll hear from Jordan and me next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well, and there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere, but the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
No Giannis, no problem for the Bucks as they handle the Toronto Raptors 128-112 north of the border. With the Greek Freak sidelined due to a calf strain, Malik Beasley stepped up with a season-high 30 points, his 8th 30-point game of his career and first since March of 2022. He also nailed 8 of 11 from three-point range.
Got to work quickly now with 2 seconds left. Feeds it ahead. Beasley fires up the three at the horn, and he kisses it in. Count that bad boy.
Damian Lillard went off for a double-double, 37 points and 13 rebounds. The 7-4 Bucks go for a third straight win Friday night when they visit the Charlotte Hornets.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. The ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line is your place to sound off every single day.
Leo, who's on his way up to Lambeau Field for Thursday Night Football, your reaction to David Bakhtiari on the IR.
And have your voice heard.
Ben, I've been a fan of you since Scalzo and Bruss was on the air.
Okay, let's not get carried away.
You kind of revolutionized this channel and stuff.
Ben Brust, Radio Revolutionary? 800-990-3776. The ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line.
Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. See Sleeper Support Center for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-522-4700 for help. Think you know basketball? Then try to turn your basketball knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app. the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick your favorite sports and players, like basketball star Damian Lillard. With more stats than any sports app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats and ka-ching! You could win up to 100 times your money if your pick wins. With the Sleeper app, you can make picks anytime, even after the game starts. And only on Sleeper can you get up to 100 times payout. Check out Sleeper today and unlock one of the fastest growing fantasy sports apps in the world. Download right now and get up to a $100 deposit match. Use promo code Milwaukee and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Just go to the App Store, download the Sleeper app today, and remember to use code Milwaukee for up to a $100 match on your first deposit. That's promo code Milwaukee.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. You know, I've played sports my entire life, been hurt a lot of times, but never had been injured until I had to stop doing the sports I enjoyed because my knee flat wouldn't allow it. I visited Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, where they took great care of me. I put my knee in their doctors' capable hands, and now I'm back in the gym, carrying my golf bag, pain-free for 18 holes, and playing tennis as often as I like with no issues. I'd recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin to anyone. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
But I'm thinking it's time for
We got Ryan Grant coming up at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, Tausch's former teammate. Talk a little bit about the idea of learning to win.
This is a double dip deal coming? I smell a double dip.
Yeah. I'm going to reach out to AJ Hawk, too, because I think he'd be helpful in this way as well.
Okay.
About learning to win, and to thank him for giving Tausch and Wilde a pop on the Pat McAfee show. But I want you to hear the back and forth that I had with Jordan Love about letting it rip, which is what Matt LaFleur's advice had been to him after arguably his best statistical game,
football,
at least from
right. You're talking about throwing footballs, right?
Not
yes, throwing footballs. Yeah.
You're so childish.
Yeah, grow up.
Right, because I totally misread what you were referring to there.
You're talking porn and gas all week on Wilde and Tausch from you. Who would have guessed
that's what
your topics are going to be?
Josh, back me up on the landmark case in the Supreme Court that most people know that reference, just not old boy.
As I said in the text message, I'll share it here. It was a landmark decision in the history of the United States regarding pornography, and you know it when you see it. It has shaped not only politics and the justice system, but common culture today.
Thank you for your service. Now, let her rip.
Nobody was arguing with that. Nobody argued with that.
Sounds like it.
You kind of did. The inappropriateness of referring to that landmark case.
You equating it to like a wide nine technique, I thought was just odd. But continue on.
I believe I was equating it with growth, but be that as it may, I know it when I see it, and I've seen it from Jordan Love, and here is the conversation we had about it yesterday.
When he told you that, what did you kind of think? Was it a valid kind of criticism that maybe you weren't letting him rip the way you're capable of? And then did you do that against the Steelers, and how different did that feel?
Yeah, no, I think when Matt says let it rip, it's more of, don't hesitate, going through my reads, trust what I'm seeing out there, be confident in it, and just let the ball fly. Don't have any hesitation. And that's definitely something I've been, trying to focus on, is just trusting my reads, trusting my feet. When it's time to let the ball come out, just trust it, be confident in it. Just playing, trying not to make mistakes, if that makes sense. Just going out there and taking advantage of what the defense is doing, and being confident with every throw.
We talk all the time, though, about the 10 other guys. That's obviously, that's trusting that the guys in patterns are going to be where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's not always going to be the case, right? They're young guys who make mistakes. So how do you trust it when you know there's a chance that maybe trusting it will not end up the way you want it to?
Sorry.
Speak up.
Yeah, couldn't hear you. No, I mean, that's just, you just got to have that trust as a quarterback. You got to trust that these guys are going to be where they need to be on the right time. And if it doesn't, that's something that we'll go to the sideline and fix. But I can't play, question whether a guy's going to be at the right spot at the right time. I just got to be able to trust my reads. And if they're not there, then, I'll have the feeling of, all right, the timing's thrown off, this guy's not where he needs to be, and just progressing through, finding those checkdowns, things like it's not something that I try and spend too much time focusing on. Is I just got to be able to have that trust in these guys, and I do.
Practice squad guys whooping it up behind him in the Green Mile locker room.
What happened to all the swoosh? Remember the Packers?
Well, I guess they
usually leave.
Yeah, I guess they didn't use it during the time of my questions. There was enough cacophony behind him.
Hey, you had like 6 questions in that first one.
Yeah, and he answered them all. I like Jordan.
Did he?
He did. Look,
Does he have like a
you
notepad? Does he take notes down? All right, that's part 1. Okay, Jason, what was that second part? Oh, okay.
I have one question in 37 parts. Tausch, you would agree that watching him against the Steelers, he did let it rip. And it is the thing that we have been critical of him for. And as I said earlier in the week, when a coach gives you a coaching point, when you then go out and do it, that's what coaches want from you. And that's what he did. Now, I don't know if he's going to continue to do that, but this was a big step forward. And you want to see growth, and I give you a hard time. I'm telling you, growth is not linear. He had bad performances, but this was, despite the outcome, moral victory or not, this was a step forward for him. Do you think he can parlay that into being more decisive and continuing to let her rip after he did it against the Steelers?
Yeah, confidence begats confidence. And you have to have some success, and he had some success last week. Again, as we talked about on Monday, that gasoline needs to be going winning a game. And celebrating, ripping your helmet off and celebrating out on the field because you just did a walk-off. Those are things that's that next step. But Jordan Love played his best game last week, and it was in a hostile environment against a couple of really good pass rushers, and you found a way to move the football on a pretty consistent basis throughout the day. You obviously can't have the turnovers, but at this point in his career, I'm not mad about that. I'd much rather him be aggressive and trust his reads, and if a ball gets tipped up or if he sails one, obviously you can't do that consistently, but what we saw last week is what I want to continue to see. And I just want to see him finish a game better. And if you get that, everybody's going to feel a heck of a lot better about where Jordan Love is at in this development and in this growth. So, yeah, I liked it. And when you ask, do you think it can continue? Absolutely it can. Your receivers are getting more confident. I don't know if it was your article or somebody wrote today about Jaden Reed and the kind of the chemistry that those two have already. Tay Wicks, you're seeing that grow, and you're going to start trusting that your guys are going to see things the same way you do the more reps that you get. And then you can even let it rip more. And then you can start making adjustments off of adjustments. And that's when you get to that next level. That's where Rodgers got with Jordy. And it didn't happen in 08. It happened in 11. Late 10, early 11. So it takes time. Nobody wants to handle that, especially in today's instant gratification society. But that's what it does take. And you want to just continue to see them taking those steps, even if there are some backward steps. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, as Paul Abdul once sang.
We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour with our friend Ryan Grant, the former Packers running back, to give us some insight into the challenges of learning to fly/win like this young team is doing now. He's next in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Prize Picks, the most fun I've had, winning up to 25x on my money during the football season, and now I get to play during the basketball season as well. You get to select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and you just place an entry. Pretty simple. And now you get to pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports or leagues. So for me, I'm going to go Jordan Love, and then I'll go Giannis and Dalla Dame. If I want to go 3-pointers made, rushing touchdowns, can do it. Prize Picks is that simple to play. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Go to prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/WI, code WI.
Black Friday savings start now at Ewald Automotive. Get the biggest savings of the year. $2,000, $4,000, up to $10,000 off. All backed by our low price guarantee and Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. But that's not all. Get $3,000 over book value for your trade and your choice of financing as low as 0% or the lowest lease payment of the year. Hurry to Ewald's Black Friday sales event now.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
On select models with approved credit, see dealer for details. Offer expires month end.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And I love it when we have an excuse to reach out to this guy. And you did.
One of your favorites. One of your favorite.
He is one of my favorites. Yep. Still waiting for that royalty check on that contract that Alan Herman thinks I got for him by publicly criticizing the Packers on ESPN. Which, again, thank you, Alan, for giving me more credit than I deserve. This guy earned every penny, being an outstanding running back for the Green Bay Packers. It is our friend Ryan Grant on Wilde and Tausch. RG, how are you, bud?
What's up, guys?
Well, wait, I brought up your name because we were talking about the idea of this Packers team learning how to win. And you were one of the guys that obviously helped make the Green Bay Packers successful during that 2007 season when you came in and you made such a difference running the football. And then even though they went on the Super Bowl run without you, and you were one of the players that helped change the game and the idea of being able to return from injury on injured reserve, you were one of those guys that changed the rule, basically, because you could have been coming back late in the year. Unfortunately, they didn't have that rule then, so that kind of sucks. But
unfortunately, the next year they changed it.
Yes, exactly. You changed the game.
Like RG is like the Wilt Chamberlain of IR rules here. Wilt Chamberlain, they wouldn't let him go in the paint. RG does this, and they change the IR rules.
I was going to compare him to Rosa Parks, but I thought that might be a little bit strong.
I don't know. That's probably.
Yeah, that's a little
bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. You compared him to Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
They're both a little far, but at least they're within the context of changing the rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, fair enough. Billy Bean, Moneyball, that's what you are. You changed the IR rules. So when you look back on that time, and you were a young guy yourself, at least in that 06, 07, 08 window, is there a process to learning how to win? Because you're watching the Packers now, and they sure look like a team that is still trying to figure out how to win.
Absolutely. And I don't know what Tauscher feels, but I think that if you look at our 07 team and then versus 08 with when Aaron's first year starting, it was a learning curve for a lot of us in regards to playing with me, number one, like a full-time role. Aaron, of course, taking over the helm. And then the rest of the team playing with Aaron and, buying in. We knew he had the phenomenal talent, and we had a talented team. But I think if you look at that season, we weren't finishing games. We were losing games at the end. We lost a lot of games right at the end of the game. And to us, it just felt like we weren't ready like close the deal. We didn't figure it out how to actually finish that deal. And we knew we were very close, and I think those are the little things in, being a great team where you find a way to win, find a way to step up, because as you know, it's the fine line between winning and losing in the NFL is so small. And every week, guys are going in competitive and ready to go, and they have a job as well. So you got to be on top of your P's and Q's. And I think that I think everybody in that team right now is just figuring out that, all right, we're close, but we got to fine-tune some things, and guys really have to step up and be professionals about it.
So that 2008 team, that 2008 team, RG, despite having an all-time great right tackle, of course, and a really good running back who had back-to-back 1,250-yard seasons, you went 1-7 in games that were decided by one score, and that's what you're talking about there with trying to learn how to win. So how do you learn other than by not winning?
I don't think that you do. You have to go through that process of realizing what you do wrong. You self-correct. You have to watch film on the things you do wrong, on the things that you're, the little minute things that aren't being accomplished. You have to make sure that you're fine-tuning the things that you do well and you want to actually get better at. I think you guys have to come together closer, as a team. You build bond. That's the nature of competitive sports. You just have to kind of find that groove and find what works for you and get better. So they'll figure it out. I will say I'm not overly concerned. I think the standard is so high, and I talk about this a lot. Packer fans have had such a phenomenal experience the last 30 years of quarterback play and team play for the most part, and just right now these are just growing pains, and literally growing pains. They're growing as young guys, as a young squad, and you got to go through this. It is what it is.
So did you know at some point in 2009, could you sense that the light had gone on and now you guys understood what exactly it took to win that you didn't understand the year before?
Absolutely. I felt that way because I believe as a team we felt we were super talented in 2009, and we started off a little inconsistent, but as the season went on, we found our groove. And I know, with that game in Arizona that nobody wants to talk about because it was crazy, we really felt like we were one of the best teams, if not the best, going into the tournament. And we just, we didn't get it done. And, of course, that's how it's the nature of the game. But we did. We felt like we had found a groove. And 2010, we felt like we had, something really cooking going in. And each year you want to build upon, to the point that you can get it done. So, we did. And honestly, it's just what they got to go through. Like, you want to, there are things that might be glaring here and there that you say, all right, we got to immediately correct that. You don't want to allow that to kind of grow. But at the end of the day, really, what do they expect? They expect a team that literally has, for the last 16, how many years was A-Rod in Green Bay? 16, 15 years?
He was there for 18 and the starter for 15. 15 years as
Oh, there you go, yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like this is a new culture across the board, everything, in all aspects. So you can't diminish that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't downplay that in any capacity. It's very real. And at the end of the day, teams are coming in with that. Trust me, there's a level of confidence that teams have when they come into Green Bay, just because who's at the helm is just different, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. They got to play with that. That's what they want. And if, as a professional and as a competitor, I'm sure all the guys, they look forward to it, but you got to come with it. Right now Green Bay is fresh shot. It's fresh meat. And it doesn't mean that they can't play at a high perform and win, and they will, But they got to deal with all the other stuff right now.
The only drawback to my 2008 to 2023 comp is that while you were one of those young guys, you guys also went to an NFC Championship game in 2007, and there were a lot of veterans on that team. I mean, Charles Woodson was on that team. And there's no Charles Woodsons on this team. There's no Al Harrises. There's no Donald Drivers. And that's why I'm curious, Do you think that helped you guys with that learning how to win process, that you were with guys that had done it? Because this team has very few of those guys to help accelerate the process for them.
Yeah, we had a really good balance of, how many All-Pros and how many Pro Bowlers did we have on our squad that were, and I think, what's funny, Aaron said something to me, I can't remember what year it was, but he reached out to me and he said, I apologize, and it was just a reference around how professional we were as a team in the relation of he didn't have to worry about anything other than playing quarterback and being A-Rod, because he knew that we had veterans on our squad that were going to handle our business. And it was really important for us to, not have missed assignments and to make sure that he could do his job. Like, we weren't missing a lot. We weren't, there weren't mental mistakes, those type of things. We kind of policed our locker room and made sure that we were handling our business. And veterans like Al, Nick, Woodson on the defensive end, really just stepping up. You had guys on the D-line. You had Tausch, Cliffy on our end, Drive, Greg. You could go down the line. Like, funny, I was thinking about the other day. I was like, man, sometimes I didn't even feel like I was even deserving to be on the field with all these guys. So fortunate to have all these phenomenal leaders, leaders on their position, but then across the board, it was like, nobody really cared who our captains were. That's why we get to captains every week, because we had a bunch of leaders that just stepped up. And I think it trickles in. It trickles into the work ethic. It trickles into the professionalism. And they'll figure that out. And when I mean figure that out, it doesn't mean that they're all going to figure it out as a Packer. They'll figure it out within the realms of the game itself, because that's the nature of the business. You have to figure it out, and the people that figure it out the fastest usually succeed. So,
RG,
go for it.
That's something that Jason and I have discussed a bunch, and it's that veteran part. And you just said something really interesting about Aaron saying that he didn't have to worry about that piece of it. I don't think Jordan Love has that luxury, because outside of Elton Jenkins, David Bakhtiari obviously gets hurt. Elton Jenkins is really the only veteran, and then Aaron Jones. That's it. So there is more, because whether or not they like it or not, quarterbacks are always going to be the leaders of your football team. So now you're asking a guy to not only be able to read coverages and throw darts and do all this other stuff with a young receiving core that he has to kind of bring along because he's been there longer. Did the Packers put Jordan Love in a position to be successful in his first year starting when they have as much youth and they're asking them all to grow together? Because I'm guessing he would prefer to have it like Aaron did, where he had veterans at certain spots that could help him bring his own leadership up, if that makes any sense to you.
No, it does. I don't know about the nuanced aspect of detail-wise, like scheme-wise, what they're doing to help him out. But I do think that the comments that have been said around, it's really hard to evaluate him solely based upon his performance, because they see the wider spectrum of what's not being done across the board offensively from player-wise. I think that's them saying, we understand it's not the most comfortable situation for him. We understand that. To me, that's how I see it, because he's not going to get that. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things. Aaron Jones is, I think, phenomenal. To be honest, I think he's on the path to maybe potentially be a Hall of Famer if he can stay healthy and perform. I love Aaron. He's my favorite player, of course, because he's a running back. But it is, as a running back, it's hard to really step up and take the realm from a quarterback, or just to be that guy when, he's had some health issues, number one, and just the scheme of the game, the way the game plays, you know what I mean? You're not getting the ball so much. So really, like you said, Mark, quarterbacks are the guy, regardless. It's just the nature of the way the game is. It's the way the team looks. You start with the ball. You're the one. And Jordan's trying to figure out his position. I can't imagine the pressure that he's under just from the outside, and then just the internal as a competitor, what he's putting himself, trying to step up. And at the end of the day, he's really got to look out for everybody else. That's the nature of the position as well, where he has to figure out, are they going to be in the right position? Are they going to do the same thing? And that's why I said it's like a learn on the fly. They're learning in this, because right now they're in like a pressure cooker, and it is what it is. I don't know. That's probably why I'm not a coach, because I think that I would really be on some, hey man, this is just the process. We have to stick to it. And as when it's being your job, you can't really look at it like that, but it is what it is. You just got to stay in it.
No moral victories, I keep being told, even though they probably played their best game offensively in a game they lost to the Steelers on Sunday. Talking with Ryan Grant, the former Packers running back and Tausch teammate here on Wilde and Tausch. All right, Archie, there's another thing that I wanted to ask you about. And, I got to meet your brother, and I know how close you guys were, and I know how supportive he was during your playing career. And we've got something, and he never went to this degree, I would say, but there were times, right, when he was, it was early in the world of Twitter, where he was very publicly supportive of you, right? And I know how much he loved you, and I know how much Christian Watson's dad must love him. But having been through a smaller version of this a little bit, and we saw it with Greg Jennings' sister who did it, right? It created all kinds of a stir at one point during a game. I'm curious what you would advise Christian Watson, or maybe Christian Watson's dad, who has been, for lack of a better term, picking fights with fans and or media members who have criticized his son. Because I like Christian Watson. I think he's got a boatload of potential, but all those growing pains you just got done talking about, he's still going through them. And just because he's a second-year guy doesn't mean that he's already past the point of growing pains. He played at North Dakota State. He didn't play at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And so he's going through it. So when you see this kind of stuff starting to bubble up, what are your thoughts and what is your advice both to maybe Christian and to his pops?
Well, first off, regarding Christian, I think people take for granted the ability to play at a high level with the attention, everything that comes along with big-time schools and big-time programs. So, he's going through it. Fortunately, I do think that for transition, Green Bay is a good market because you don't have to worry about the outside stuff when you step out of the organization, when you step out of the workplace. So I think he'll be fine. Yes, he's got to deal with it, and yes, he got put in a situation where young quarterback, young wide receiver, so they're learning on the fly. Hopefully, Christian and Jordan build a really strong relationship with each other, and that will help them stay focused and handle their business. In regards to the family stuff, I'm guessing that Christian is having conversations with his father, and, we live in a day and age where everything is so public, and within that, people feel really comfortable on all these platforms and all these spaces to say whatever they want, say how they feel, justified, unjustified. I think that it is kind of free reign, but in the same breath, you got to understand, we're human, and these are family members that it's their role to protect in some capacity to the degree. It might not always be agreed upon. It might be something that it might end up somewhat based upon the business, maybe put them in a hole, but they're human as well. And if they feel like somebody is, regardless of whether it's justified or not, attacking their child, attacking somebody, their loved one, it's just nature. To me, it's what's going to happen because people do say things that, regardless of it's justified, that it doesn't feel good. And at the end of the day, I think that this is the nature between putting athletes, quote unquote, understandably, we put them on a pedestal because of what we do. We entertain to some capacity, and they see that we're different than them and they praise. But then in the same breath, when we don't perform to the capacity, and trust me, you don't think Christian Watson knows that he's not performing to the capacity that he wants. You don't think his family member knows,
Right.
So all it does is exacerbate or just compound, the situation. And at some point in time, look, they're humans, man. They're going to do what they're going to do. I'm not justifying any of it because I think that it's, to some degree, you do have to, when you step on this stage, you do have to be more thick-skinned. Because that's what you develop. You develop the nature to be able to persevere and fight through just in the game itself, let alone everything else around it. But I don't know. Tausch, it's a different day and age, man. What we dealt with, I remember what we dealt with when we lost against the Giants in 11. I remember that night I was getting like death threats on Twitter and like all these different, everything you could possibly get. But that was,
I told you to stay
11.
off of Twitter. I told you.
That was
stay off Twitter.
But you know what? I actually, and I'm not mad at it because I actually built some really good relationships through Twitter. Now, in the same breath, you're talking this is 12 years later. where now the access, and because the players have access to families, so many more people are a part of it. It's like, I don't know how these athletes, I'm actually really curious of how these athletes manage their lifestyles with social media across the board and access and technology. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I really wish our regular producer Jesse was here today, because he had suggested last week that he really views you guys as characters in like a performance,
like a
and he
TV
doesn't.
show. Like a TV.
Yeah, he doesn't think of you guys as actual human beings, and and I can't have that conversation with him because I'm in the locker room and I got to know you and all the interesting conversations we had over the years, and Tausch, and he just, and I wonder if because this all started with the Brewers manager leaving for the Cubs, and he suggested that you guys are all just sort of these characters in a show that is professional sports, and he doesn't think of you as human beings. And I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people like him.
There is. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think there's a majority. And I learned that really quickly. The day I got traded, they told me that I was everything they wanted as a Giant. I was the representative of blah, blah, blah. I worked my butt off. I was like everything they looked at, blah, blah, blah. And literally in the same breath, he said, yeah, but we just traded you for a draft pick that was worth more. Literally, after he just praised me in regards to being it, and I was like, oh, I'm a commodity. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, that's what comes with the business. And I don't have an issue with saying that, because this is something that we chose to do. Nobody forced me to actually play ball, whatever it may be. And I loved what I did. So it doesn't justify how people treat you, because at the end of the day, there's a fine line. And I think we learn that in relation, and you're seeing that in real time with how people think. But I'm not surprised that he said that. At least he was honest about it, because, and I think it's fair to some degree think of ourselves as characters and to not overly identify. And I think that's a lot of the issue that we do. It's like with sports in America, and not just America, but specifically with football and American high-end sports, there's an over-identification with it. So you're seeing issues with guys when they get done. You see issues with guys on how should they handle being treated inhumane. How should they handle, and at the end of the day, it's kind of relative. It's like, yeah, we're getting paid and ginormous amounts, and these. But in the same breath, just because you pay somebody or you put somebody in a pedestal, if you think that allows you to treat or talk to them a particular way, you'll learn really fast that that's not the case. So I don't know it. I don't have the answer for it, but it is that's what you're dealing with,
So RG, would you have felt better after the Giants were telling you how great you were if they got like a 4th-round pick for you instead of a 6th or 7th?
Well, check this out. What they should have done is they should have just gotten a conditional pick, and then based upon my performance, they would have got probably. Well. Yeah, they they lost. Well, at the end of the day, they won the Super Bowl that year, so I think they won overall. But
that's right.
If we're gonna nitpick, but if they would have got a conditional pick, they probably would have walked away with a 1st-round pick based upon my performance that year. So who knows?
Yeah,
that's true. RG, before we let you go, because we're always looking when we're talking about all these young players, and I always use you as an example for this. Because there's no doubt in my mind, I remember exactly where we were. We were at Meadowlands. We threw a screen pass to you, and you had just gotten traded to us for that 6th-round pick, which should have been better. And do you remember the play that I'm talking about that the coaches remember seeing, and you got, and that was in my opinion, this cat belongs as a starting tailback in this league. Do you remember it, or do I have to tell you?
No, I do, man. I remember that. I do actually remember it. And it was a screen. It was on the Giant sideline, and I spun on Webby, and I went down the sideline. And I remember, because I had just left the Giants, those are all my boys, they're cheering just as much. It was really a weird play. They were cheering just as much because it was me as our sideline was. And I remember thinking, like, all right, yeah, it was, especially it was back home for me. You know, it felt good. It was a good play. And so, yeah, I guess that was one of my first, like, big plays as a Packer. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was a fun play. Actually, you know what's funny?
How many guys do you think?
You haven't seen it.
What do you say? How many? I haven't seen it. Yeah, outside of watching the film, I think I saw it once. I remember the play. Yeah, but
ooh, I'm gonna have to go into the archives find it now.
He got a plus for that. I guarantee you that. You got double pluses on that.
Yeah, exactly. That was an explosive. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Mark?
No, I was going to say, at that point, I would have been fascinated because we used to always play the game, like, how many of your teammates do you know, what college they go. It's a great way to kind of get to know everybody. How many guys do you think at that point knew who the heck you were on our
Maybe three. It was probably Will Blackman, Frank Walker. I'm trying to think who else. I don't know. That might have been maybe, at that point in time it was. Yeah, I don't know. I remember
after that
Darren being
everybody did.
Yeah, after that play, a couple guys. Not everybody.
Yep.
You know for a fact, not everybody.
I know I did.
A little bit more. You
RG. RG, you're one of the most enlightened cats I've ever gotten to cover, man, and it's always fun to have an excuse to call
debate,
you.
Wilde? You want to get in a fun debate? I don't know how many debates RG and I had. I loved my debate times with RG. Loved it.
How many did you win? Because Tausch always thinks he wins every debate.
He's never won one.
You know what? I actually don't think Mark is one of those that no matter what, you will not win. So you're not going to win a debate. No.
Okay,
no matter what,
right. Now we have
you're not going to win a debate against Tausch.
Yeah, we have to let you go now.
Even
I'm
if you
sorry.
win, you're not going to win.
Even if you win, get out of here. Get out of here, RG.
Have truer words been spoken on this show. Even if you win, you're not going to win in a debate with Mark Tauscher. RG, we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
Always, guys. All right.
God, he's such a great guy. We really enjoy when we have a reason to talk to him. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. 28 years on the Packers.
I would flat out cut his ass to send a message.
37 years playing in the NFL.
This is the best win in the Matt LaFleur era.
87 years covering the Packers.
And that's what happened in the fourth quarter. That's all. He has been really good.
And 46 years of being on ESPN.
I said to Herman Edwards one time, it's hard to win a game in the NFL. He said, John, it's hard to make a first down.
There's no place with more experience when it comes to talking about the green and gold. All day, every day. We are 94.5 ESPN.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Adulting in the fall means responsible spiking. For pumpkin spice or whatever your preferred fall drink concoction is, spike it with rum chata. It's a solution for any occasion. Rum chata is the world's finest liqueur featuring premium Caribbean rum combined with vanilla, cinnamon, and the highest quality dairy cream sourced from Wisconsin. Enjoy a smooth shot or a tantalizing spiked beverage with Rum Chata Original. And, backed by popular demand for a limited time, Rum Chata Peppermint Bark. Rum Chata, the superior way to spike and sip responsibly this fall.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977. The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you. We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Packers have struggled in the red zone this season. Through 9 games, they have scored 47% of the time, good for 27th in the NFL. However, in goal-to-goal situations, the Packers have scored 92% of the time, tied for first in the league. Head coach Matt LaFleur wants to see more production from the running game when they get inside the opponent's 20-yard line.
If you want to be a good red zone team, you typically have to run the ball effectively down there. So I think it starts with our run game.
The Packers welcome in the Los Angeles Chargers to Lambeau Field on Sunday. Kickoff is set for noon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, Tito's Handmade Vodka is there on game day for every fan. Find cocktail recipes at titosvodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I fell for the devil's daughter. I jumped in, yeah, I drank the water. Tell me, doctor, can you fix my brain? Cause everyone that says I'm insane, help me loosen this ball-in chain. There's no use talking, I'm a dead man walking. I was thirsty and I wanted more. Then she burned me with the rebel soul. Tried to warn me and I should have known. There's no use talking, I'm a dead man walking.
Thanks to Ryan Grant. If you joined that late, you're going to want to hear the whole thing. So be sure to check it out on Wisconsin On Demand or Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, or Stitcher.
When is the State Journal article going to be?
That's a great question. Depends how many more guys I get a hold of in the next couple of days. Otherwise, probably on Thanksgiving.
Then it's not a double dip. If you're not going to do
what
it
do you mean?
off RG, it's not a double dip. You're going out looking for other quotes. If RG's not good enough, that's not a double dip.
Sure it is. He's the first one on the list. He's come on. The son of a farmer/journalist. You know that I need to get more voices than just RG's and yours, which I also have from the program. But look, I'm trying to get the quarterback from that 2008 team.
Okay.
Matt Flynn.
Good.
And I'm going to reach out to AJ Hawk after the show. I got to make sure I have the right number for him. But he was on that team. He was still a young player. He was the first-round pick in 2006. You guys went to the NFC Championship game in 2007.
Jordy'd be good because I think people are trying to compare Jordy with Christian Watson, which I don't think is a fair comp, by the way.
Oh, you want to book Jordy for tomorrow, or are you all booked out?
Jordy's always a little trickier to book. So I told Jordy at the Hall of Fame I was not going to be bothering. He doesn't like doing media, Jason. You know that. But you can reach out to him again.
Okay, I'll make sure I have his number. He cannot respond to me when I text him a little bit later. All right, we got a couple things we want to get to, including Tausch has this really fun idea for the top of the 11 o'clock hour, so you're going to want to stick around for that. Before we get to that, though, I do want to get to trivia because I'm nervous that we got all kinds of fun ideas today. Joshy's in, and I don't want to get to the end of the show and have to play end-of-show trivia.
That's too much.
We've already gotten criticized by Jesse for not leaving the airwaves in Madison and Beaver Dam at 9:30. which I would have appreciated in the rundown, Jesse, since you're listening somewhere, a very big, bold, red warning, get out at 9:30, which there was not there. So let's play trivia now. Joshy, is this your trivia or is this Jesse's trivia? Because that'll dictate whether I'm confident that we have all the answers that are supposed to be correct actually correct or not.
This is Jesse trivia, and I will take no blame for any incorrect answers.
They don't call you the best teammate in the business for nothing, folks. All right, caller 8, different number today that Scuba Chad can't call anyway because he already played this week and he's ineligible. So please don't call, Chad. 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. The category, which former Packers running back am I? Fun category in honor of Ryan Grant joining us today. Caller 8 right now. 800-990-3776. We will play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
Tito's handmade vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel has something you gotta see. Play more slots and games, and you could say, "Show me the money," to reveal up to $10,000 each Thursday. 800,000 in prizes is up for grabs. 40 winners each week. This October and November at Potawatomi, Milwaukee. When you're ready to win, just say, "Show me the money." More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide.
The fourth-ranked Golden Eagles passed their first real test of the season, taking down number 23 Illinois 71-64 down in Champaign as part of the Gavitt tip-off games. Tyler Kolek showed no ill effects from an ankle injury. The senior point guard scored a game-high 24 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 4 assists in the victory. Head coach Shaka Smart wasn't even sure if the reigning Big East Player of the Year would be available to play.
We didn't even know if he was going to play. As of yesterday, he was leaning towards not. They kind of got him ready for shoot-around. He was out there moving around. He was kind of moving gingerly, but you could see he wanted to play. He was the player of the game today.
The 3-0 Golden Eagles now travel out to Hawaii Monday night to face UCLA as part of the Maui Invitational.
This has been the Marquette Minute Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank.
Are you ready to be treated like a VIP? Drop the third-party apps and download the Cousins Club app for true VIP status. Then order your favorite subs and sides directly on the Cousins Club app to reap the rewards. You'll get access to exclusive, limited-time only products, coupons, and special offers. And you'll earn reward points, free food, and Cousins merchandise. Now that's how a VIP should be treated. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet. But I'm way less sad. So mad at Twitter now. Living sucks, but it's sucking just a little.
Time now for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestants who may or may not fall victim to Jesse having inaccurate information in the questions. It is David in Pewaukee. David, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. Good morning.
All right, well, we'll find out how great you are at trivia. The category is which former Packers running back am I? The first question goes to former Packers right tackle, Mark Tauscher.
All right, David. In addition to being Jason Wilde's favorite player to cover, I was a Super Bowl champion with the G&G. I wore number 25 with the Packers and with the Philadelphia Eagles. Which former Packers running back am I? Is it Dorsey Levens, Edgar Bennett, or Noah Herron?
Dorsey Levens.
You had me worried there for a second, David.
I was trying to think of numbers.
As an avid listener to the show, yes, ranked slightly ahead of Mark Tauscher in my career power rankings of favorite players to have covered, much to Tauscher's chagrin. All right, question 2. I won 3 BCS national championships during my college career and was this close to playing in a Super Bowl with the G&G. Which former Packers running back am I? Am I Amon Green, Eddie Lacy, or Ty Montgomery?
Eddie Lacy.
The league comes at you fast. Eddie Lacy.
Boy, doesn't it.
All right, Tausch. Perfect week. Sort of.
Boy, doesn't the league come at you fast. Of these 3 running backs, I am the only one with more career rushing yards with the Packers than Brett Favre. Wow. Which former Packers running back am I? Is it Najee Davenport, James Starks, or Brandon Jackson?
Starks.
Wow.
Good run for David. Good run.
David, well done, sir. 3 for 3. Najee Davenport. Always brings a smile to my face, and I always check. I'm sorry?
If you could pick my name Friday, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, well, now that you've asked, I'm going to guess you probably won't win. So thank you, David, for playing. We appreciate you. Have a great day, bud.
You too. Bye.
Tausch, when you think back to the Najee Davenport saga with the laundry basket, the dorm room, the closet, how much grief did he take in the locker room? Were there some jokes made? I think somebody put a toilet in his locker at one point.
Yeah, he took some grief. think that's a fair assessment. But you know what? In all honesty, he handled it pretty well and loved him as a teammate.
Yeah?
Ran his tail off. Played hard. Fun dude. Unfortunately, whatever happened that night, I don't know if we all know or what. I did not dig in to the evidence or take a look.
Where's the poop? Where's the evidence?
It's just like porn. When you see it, you know, or however, whatever you guys said. I don't know how that all.
He also plays a very key role in the. Who else is on my power rankings of people that I don't like? Michelle Tafoya. It was on a Monday Night Football game against the Rams at Lambeau, in which she went on before the game and talked about how even the beat writers who normally cheer for the home team have been very critical. Remember, that really ticked me off. That was the game where Najee had like a huge game against the Rams, and you guys won on Monday Night Football. But we had left her off the list earlier in the show of people that I can't stand. All right, we've got a couple other things we want to get to before Tausch's. This is a really good idea. I don't want to over-tease it, but I think it's going to be really, really interesting. Kind of like the poll question that never made it into the field yesterday. And now Jesse's very busy being Kurt McAfee for the WIAA State High School Football Championships coverage. We will get to that at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. We'll hear a little bit from Matt LaFleur next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Everywhere you look, from groceries to utilities to gas, prices keep going up. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round by replacing drafty windows and doors in as little as 6 weeks. And now you can save even more by taking advantage of no interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 11/30/2023.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Q Myers and Emmett Golden.
The Warriors don't have rings without Draymond. Right. I mean, let's just keep it real. Again, as a Warrior fan, they don't have rings without him. But sometimes, even as to a fan's point of view, and I'm sure to some of those players in the locker room, right? It's like, okay, we get it. Like, you're the tough guy. You're the bully. You're this, you're trying to, be the enforcer. I could appreciate that to a certain extent, but when it starts costing you at the wrong time, again, I don't think this is the wrong time. I don't think this is a big deal. 5 games, $770,000 is going to cost them is a lot to me and a lot to you. Matter of fact, it's too much for both of us. But
I ain't never even seen that.
At all, and I won't, right? And I won't. But for him, okay.
Yeah.
He'll go do a couple podcasts. He'll drop a couple podcasts and do a couple shows and be an analyst somewhere and to make his money right back, if not more.
He won't even notice it.
Right.
Like, he literally won't notice it in his account.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt OnePlus Whisper Series leaf blower and football. That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the OnePlus battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster. Which means more time for football. For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Kyle Bruston Nortman, weekdays from 2 to 5, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL.
Sounds like he was fighting a bunch of drunk dudes. How easy is that? I could rack up 14 wins, bunch of drunk dudes. I got this. Hey, this leg right here, it's been itching to kick something.
That right leg
itching. It's powerful.
That leg got drafted.
He's gonna say, "Oh wow!" And so this leg has been itching to kick something.
Kyle Bruston Nortman, right here on 94.5 ESPN, and subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey. Riding with you every mile since 1977.
Check out our brand new Hyundai dealership, one of the largest in the Midwest.
Step inside of our state-of-the-art showroom where you can view our new Hyundai models and some of our finest certified pre-owned.
We've also expanded our service center, staffed by our factory-certified technicians.
And right next door, we've started construction on our all-new Genesis of Waukesha dealership.
But we're not just building walls, we're building careers.
So if you're looking for a career with great benefits and opportunity for growth, Boucher's the place for you.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll get to Tausch's little game that he came up with to begin the 11 o'clock hour. But before we do that, Tausch, I've said many times, and you've teased me for it, that I like Jordan Love. I like him a lot. And one of the things I like about him is that I really kind of dig the way he handles his teammates, whether he's, you even heard it in his answer to me in our long back and forth. If a guy's not in the right spot, we'll handle it on the sideline, he said, right? That's not always what Aaron Rodgers did, right? I mean, he probably did eventually, but first he yelled at him or flailed his arms or whatever he did when he was pissed on the field. But he was also asked about Christian Watson yesterday. And I thought it was really interesting that here's a guy who is playing for his next contract as a quarterback himself, is certainly the focal point of this season and what he's doing and not doing well enough. And he decides to take some of the responsibility for Christian Watson's lack of productivity on himself. I want you to hear this and tell me what you think. Here is Jordan Love talking about Christian Watson's struggles.
Yeah, my message to Christian is just, keep your confidence. Don't let any of that stuff, ever let your confidence waver or anything like that. Like, I got complete trust in Christian. I know he knows this, but the ball's gonna. I trust all my receivers. The ball's gonna come out regardless. So just keep that confidence. We all, when you're losing, it's a lot of people want to point fingers, things like that. So it happens. It comes with the territory. He's a professional. He knows that, and that's everybody in the locker room. But I told him just keep that confidence up, keep making plays, just move on to the next one. But a lot of it isn't his fault. I could be better for him, things like that. So just keep that confidence. I trust these guys, and we're gonna go up from here.
I could be better for him. Do you believe that, Tausch?
Yeah, no, I believe that. I think Jordan, you've said this really since you've been covering him. I think he's a really good teammate, and you listen to how he approaches things. I think he wants his teammates to be better, and I think he recognizes some of his own flaws, which is kind of refreshing. So, yeah, is he throwing the perfect deep balls? Could he be more angstful at number 9? He certainly could be, in my opinion. I think
no doubt.
There have been 50-50 balls that have not been close to being 50-50 balls, and some have been intercepted, especially in the end zone, in critical points of the game where Jordan Love's going to take the brunt of that criticism. Hey, welcome to the NFL. Quarterbacks are going to get criticized a heck of a lot more than wideouts. That's the world you live in. So you could sit there and, say, well, if he gotten the right depth on that's not intercepted, or if he fights back through, he could have got a PI. Jordan Love is looking at him. Man, I've also underthrown him. I haven't put him in a position when he's had 3 steps on somebody. I've underthrown it, and it's been broken up or it's been intercepted. So I agree with you on the Jordan Love component of that. I think he has been a really good teammate. He has held himself to a high standard, and where he could be, well, I'm a young player, blah, blah, blah. He's not doing that. And he shouldn't. So we shouldn't really be attaboying him for things that he should do. But I think it's important to point things out when you see him that, you know what, he's carrying himself the right way, and he's going to have to continue to do that.
So you heard me ask Ryan Grant about this, and I know that your parents and your brothers were incredibly supportive of you, and you went what'd you go, 5 years without a holding call or something ridiculous like that? Was it longer than that? How long was that streak? Do you remember?
Somewhere in that ballpark. I think it was 6 and some change.
Yeah. Did at any point at all did you ever have to talk to anyone in your family about being too vocally supportive of you publicly? Ever?
Not really. I had to have a few conversations, but it was never. And second of all, it fell on deaf ears anyway. So at some point as you understood that things were coming from a good place, and as long as that was the case, you understand that you want people in your corner. So I tried to not get involved in any of that stuff, and for the most part, I feel like I did.
All right, so that if you were
mom, she might feel differently.
We love Diane around here. All right, so if you were advising Christian Watson, what would you tell him at this point? Because it is nonstop.
Put your head down and work. Put your head down and work. That's what I would tell him. I'm not interested in all that other stuff. I don't need you to be a media darling. All of that stuff will come. Just go to work and go and work on your craft. All of this other stuff, I wouldn't mind if he gave himself a media embargo and just went out and played. I don't think any of this other stuff. He is now kind of in the, he's in the spotlight a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, you got to deliver. And I think a lot of times some players love that spotlight and they like to put challenges out and they like to go out there and get them. I don't know if that's Christian Watson, but if his family and everybody are kind of handling things the way that they are, which again, as Ryan said, they have every right to do that. I've always just been of the belief that just work and deliver, and all of that other stuff comes back 100-fold. Complaining or anyone in your family trying to make it out like you're, being victimized in any way, shape, or form, nobody cares. And I would just say, just go to work, man. Just go to work.
Joshy, when I talked to Gabe and Chewy this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Gabe made the point that he thinks that Christian Watson's dad is being detrimental to him. Did you agree with that position?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because I did.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think you're bringing undue attention for Christian Watson by constantly talking about it. I think we're not far from him starting to blame teammates with the way a lot of this has gone. And I think when you go after Packers fans specifically, you're now putting a target on your kid's back where every time he does something wrong, people are going to come to you about it and are going to make a bigger deal out of it than they previously would have.
Yep. And I, again, as a
all right, so what do you want the parents to do? Not do anything?
Yeah.
Sit there and you see tweets and you see that they're slandering and going after your kid. You're just Jason Wilde is just going to not say anything about it. Who the hell are you guys kidding?
I'm not kidding anybody. I totally agree that it would be really hard for me. I'd be just as bad. But at some point, I would probably need someone like you to say, "Hey, man, it's making things worse, not better. I know what you're trying to do. I get it. But buddy, Sydney, you're just making it worse for Sid, man. Like, what I'm saying is somebody needs a Tausch. If this was me, I would need you to say, hey, I understand, you love her, you're tired of her getting criticized for the turnover she's committed for the UW Oshkosh Titans or whatever, but you got to stop. You're making it worse on her. I would need you to step in and do that as my friend and someone who gives me good advice. And I'm just wondering if there's anybody that can do that, because I don't think Christian Watson should have to be the one who does it. I don't know who would, but somebody.
He's going to have to. He's going to have to be the one. No, it's going to have to be him that does it.
Nope. You're probably right.
I don't think he will.
There's a fact here too with Christian hasn't been playing well, so you're not correcting things that are incorrect being said about him. You are saying all these other things and blaming other reasons on why he's not performing to where he should be.
Here's the deal.
That's a fair point, Josh.
Here's the deal. Coaches would always tell us, you're not going to beat the media and in turn the fans. They have the final say. So you can't pick what questions you answer, but you can pick what answers you give.
Boy, who told you that? That's really good.
I don't remember.
Okay. Still a good quote, no matter who said it. Bob
No,
Moore,
and it's not Friday at 11:30, so I don't have my quote of the day up on my phone yet. So I don't know who it was, but it's 1,000% true. Just because Wilde wants to ask me about my dad, that doesn't mean I could say, you know what, my mom was a great gardener, and she knew how to run a meat cleaver. She would butcher. My mom was a great meat cleaver. No, legitimate. Great meat cleaver.
Like whack?
Yeah. Yep.
Like cutting off chickens' heads?
No, I don't want to get all graphic with you. Farm life's a different life. You know that.
Meat cleaver.
Yeah, when you bring up
she's
meat
good at
cleaver,
meat
you're
cleaving.
thinking lopping off heads and limbs.
Exactly. And a
or
seamstress.
you could be thinking about butchering. You could be thinking about butchering a shoulder. You can think of a lot of things. It's up to you. Yeah. Well, you know it when you see it. Okay? You know it when you see it.
The landmark court decision about meat cleavers. All right, we will start the 11 o'clock hour. Tausch will unveil his new game. I will tweet it out as well, so get ready for that. And it starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Congratulations are in order for Cedar Ridge Distillery's Original 86 Bourbon, the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for a third straight year, making a home in Wisconsin. Ben Bruss here to tell you more about Cedar Ridge Distillery's bourbon and whiskey. Aged in non-climate control rick houses, the Midwest weather means Cedar Ridge products go through all the temperature swings. That means unique flavors. So it makes sense that the Quintessential is one of the highest awarded American single malts. Trust me, each bottle of Cedar Ridge is handcrafted with that Midwest feel. Learn more about their award-winning products at cedarridgedistillery.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. Former Wisconsin running back and three-time Super Bowl champion James White joined me on the Mr. Irrelevant podcast earlier this week and discussed the importance of the Badgers winning one of their final two games so they can again be bowl eligible.
I just need to see these guys get back, finish off the season the right way. You're fighting for a bowl. For me, it's important for this program going forward. Coach Fickle just has to make sure he has these guys prepared in the right mindset to finish off this season.
On the full conversation with former Badgers running back James White on the Mr. Relevant podcast feed on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round. No interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Visit PellaWI.com.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. So we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins with a brand new game that is going to sweep the nation, or at least today's show. So, Tausch, explain to me this idea, because Josh related to me, and I love it. In fact, I've got the ESPN NFL Power Rankings up, ready for the game to be played.
Yeah, so there were 2 things this week, and I don't know if we ever got that poll in the field. I would still love that, even if it's for tomorrow's show.
Jesse!
I want to know who we think could be a star, or how was that poll phrased yesterday, Jason?
It was basically who do you trust or who do you believe in most? Who's going to succeed? Something to that effect. And your choices were LaFleur, Goody, or Love.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and listen to Wisconsin On Demand to get the phraseology right.
So we're talking about that, and then we did our power rankings. Normally we do it Tuesday, but I don't even remember what we did Tuesday. Wednesday it happened. And yesterday I just got thinking when we started going through that list of power ranked teams, that because Green Bay is 27th, which is the lowest I can ever remember on record, that this is where this team has been, especially around Thanksgiving.
I agree.
It's unprecedented. So I just wonder, which team would you rather? One of my favorite games I play with Eleanor.
Yeah.
Would you rather be the New York Giants, the Carolina Panthers? Because everybody's situation is different. Some, you're going to burn it down and start over. And you potentially have a game-changing quarterback available at number 1 and or 2. Then there's other scenarios, and I believe, and I think part of it is that we just are used to this and we see it, but this Packers team, which I posed the question, what do you feel great about with this team as we sit here November 16th? I didn't have a lot of answers. What answers do you have? So, which team would you rather be? That was my answer.
Elton Jenkins. Yep.
Which would you rather be? This team or this current team of the Green Bay Packers? So that is the game that we're going to play.
All right. Here we go. Josh, do you have some special would you rather music for us to play as we play Would You Rather? It even recycles Jesse's jokes.
God, I love the Prize Picks music the most, I think, out of the whole deal.
Oh, yeah. That is good. Because it was from the...
I thought Josh was going to go with that.
It was from the numbers game. Great music.
The now defunct...
Not so great
numbers game.
All right. At number 32 in the NFL ESPN Power Rankings are... the Carolina Panthers. Would you rather...
Yeah, I'd rather be Green Bay. I'd rather be Green Bay.
Me too. And they're going to end up with the number 1 pick.
That doesn't belong to
them.
them.
The Bears are going to have it.
It's Green Bay by a lot.
Okay.
Yes, not close. All right. At 31, the New England Patriots.
Green Bay.
Green Bay all day for me on this one, too. Not even
close. Agree. Even though Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches in NFL history.
Might be traded.
He's going to be your next... BB. Deuce is BB. He's going to be the next coach of the San Diego / LA Chargers. That's the rumor.
Interesting. All right. So we're in agreement so far. We'd rather be the Packers. Next.
Correct. Joshy?
The New York.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah, he said yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Just jump in. I want to make sure because we have to be in uniform, or then we have to discuss.
I did jump in, and you
you
didn't hear it. And before I waited for you to call on me, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. It's a little. Hey, this is a new game.
Trying it out.
There's gonna be some growing pains with this game.
Can I win Tausch?
I don't think it's the fact that it's a new game. I think it's the fact that you're used to a producer who does not hesitate to jump in, and Joshy did. All right.
That could be very true, too.
Number 30 in the power rankings are the New York Football Giants.
Oh, I think the Giants are in the worst place you could possibly be. So it's a no-brainer. They should be 32nd because they are the worst team. They have a quarterback that's got a blown-out ACL that they owe gobs of guaranteed money to. They're going to lose Saquon Barkley. They don't know if their coach is the right guy now. They have issue upon issue upon issue upon issue. So no.
They sank this ship with the Daniel Jones extension. That simple.
Yeah, they sure did. And the Packers have not done that.
Fool's gold.
Yet.
They get fool's gold season. A fool's gold season.
All right, here's the first one where I think we may not all agree that you'd rather be the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago Bears at number 29.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah. I think we all
It
do
is
agree.
tough.
If you guarantee me that the Carolina Panthers finish dead last and they get that pick, I'm taking the Bears. Got to be
because they're going to have a high pick of their own too.
They're going to have so much play. They will get a monster haul, but they'll probably take either of those two quarterbacks and still get a haul.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a new coach. Like, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But if they do not get the number one overall, I'm sticking with Green Bay. And if they keep Justin Fields as their starter, I'm staying Green Bay. But if they get that number one overall, I'm going Chicago. That's my caveat.
All really good points. Joshy?
I think if I can avoid, like, all things being equal in a vacuum, I would prefer to have the haul we expect the Bears to get. Now, the organizational dysfunction, top to bottom there, does worry me in the fact that they're going to have a new coach is a factor. But looking at it as fair as possible, I think you want 2 top 5 picks.
I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. I don't think Justin Fields is the answer. I don't think Matt Eberflus survives. So they are going to hit reset yet again. But they're going to have some assets that Packers fans can only dream of. Like assets that they have not had since they botched the pick and took Tony Mandarich once upon a time. Right? So I'm taking the Bears on this one. All right, next. The one team remaining that is behind the Packers in the power rankings right now, the Arizona Cardinals, who got Kyler Murray back and won last week.
And I think they have the Cardinals pick and the Texans, which that Texans pick is not looking quite as good.
Correct.
Man. I mean, if I had to pick Kyler Murray or Jordan Love right now, all things equal, I would say Kyler Murray, but they're not equal. He's got a gob amount of guaranteed money that he's owed.
Yeah. Not sure he's worth it either.
I like their coaching staff. I give the Arizona Cardinals a ton of credit for being somewhat decent, I guess is the best way I could put it. So I'm going to go
expectations.
They're definitely outperforming expectations. I don't like the Kyler Murray contract. I don't think they're going to be able to get out of that. And I don't want Kyler Murray leading my franchise moving forward. So that's why I'm going Jordan Love.
I'm going to go Packers on that one, too. What about you, Joshy?
I'm Packers for all the reasons Tausch said.
All right. Let's do a couple more. This one's interesting because I think their coach is going to be gone because I think he's going to be the next coach of the New England Patriots when Bill Belichick goes to the Los Angeles Chargers. The Tennessee Titans, who checked in at number 26, one spot above the Packers. I'm taking the Packers.
Same.
Yeah, you have to. You just there's too much flux. But let's say this season ends up 6-11, as Jason Wilde predicted, and you end up with the 14th pick, 13th pick, whatever that ends up being, and you have no clue if Jordan Love's your quarterback. Tennessee Titans know they need a quarterback, or Will Levis is showing that they like him.
They do.
Where would you, if Will Levis plays like he had been playing, he had the one big game, he's going to be inconsistent too.
He is.
I think it's a push.
I think their cupboard is just extremely bare. I think they're a veteran-led team, and the young guys they brought in, Traylon Burks, and some of those other wide receivers aren't very good. We know that already on them.
Yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay, but I don't think it's by a lot at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that assessment. All right, last two for you, or maybe last three, because I kind of like number 23 on this list. At 25, the LA Rams. You're thinking
Green
over
Bay.
there.
Green Bay. No, they don't have
you
a quarterback.
hesitated.
They don't
Why'd
have a
you
young
hesitate
quarterback.
then?
Because I think Matthew Stafford, when healthy, they're a better team than the Green Bay Packers right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what their succession plan is. I don't know where
They don't either.
at. Yeah, and they don't.
Would you
have
rather
a,
have
they
Sean
don't have any home
McVay?
games.
You talked about Sean McVay recommitting himself to being a football coach instead of considering Amazon, whatever. If you had a chance to choose between Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay to be your coach, who are you picking?
Kyle Shanahan.
That was a weaselly move, but fair.
No, I take. I think as we sit here right now, I'd take Sean McVay.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue against that. Joshy?
I think I take the Rams. They kind of got out from underneath trading all those draft picks away. They're not in a bad spot to move on from Matthew Stafford if they need to in the near future.
Right. And they would have to figure it out just like the Packers
Carson
are figuring it
Wentz?
out. No, but they're still figuring it out, but so are the Packers. They don't know for sure yet, right? So the unknown, maybe not that scary. All right, last two. The Atlanta Falcons. Packers. They're like the Packers, but worse off because I think Desmond Ridder is pretty clearly not the guy, right?
Yeah, no, I'd take Packers on this one pretty simply.
All right, and the last one, the New York Jets.
I'm taking
They're
the
at
Jets.
number 23.
Yeah, I'll take the Jets.
Why?
Because I love their defense. I think their defense is what we hoped Green Bay's defense would be. And I know you could say, well, who statistically is better? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers will be back playing for them. I don't think they're going to be done as far as they have Aaron Rodgers on a deal that's very team-friendly.
It is now.
And I think they're going to continue to add pieces offensively. I think the Jets will be in a position to win at a bigger clip next year than the Packers are right now.
Isn't Aaron Rodgers out of friends to bring in?
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm picking the Packers here for one simple reason. They went all in for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl with him. And the aftermath left of going all in with Aaron Rodgers is going to leave a team in disarray. So they have a better chance next year, but they're going to have to pay the piper, and I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Like the Packers are paying the piper now.
Correct.
Yeah. I think I'm taking the Jets. I'm with Tausch on this one. Because, again, the Packers don't know for sure if Love is the guy, and the Jets are finding out that despite their plan of having 2 years of Rodgers and then Zach Wilson having a chance to have hit the reset button, he's not the guy. So they at least know one way or the other about their next quarterback, whereas the Packers are still trying to figure it out. And I'm with Tausch on that defense. They've got a bunch of really good players. All right. We're not going to play this game every week like we do Power Rankings Tuesday, but I look forward to us revisiting this sometime in December and seeing if things have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, and right now, really the only two teams that we are, and not even unanimously, the Bears and the New York Jets. Out of the bottom 10 teams in the league, Packer fans are looking at saying, yeah, I'd rather be in our
maybe
shoes
the
than
Rams.
theirs.
A little debate on the Rams as well.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But, yeah, it does feel weird to have a conversation like this and to have said out loud, I'd rather be the Bears.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That's not easy to deal with. All right, that's Tausch's new game. We'll play it again in a few weeks, and we'll see where the Packers are by then. We'll talk more about where the Packers stand as they go into their Sunday game against the Chargers. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
No rump shaking. Did you say that off the air, Kyle? You got to say that on the air. It was not rump shaking. It was not anything inappropriate. It just was totally irrelevant.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Because isn't that how GMs get chosen, right? You trade up, in my opinion, cost the team a chance to win a championship.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at LoTUSA.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Looking for a bank with home field advantage? You got it. At Associated Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors. That's why scoring a Packers checking account is the right play for your pay. And here's the kicker. Your Packers debit card gets you 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop. Join the team today. Open your Packers checking account at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Associated Bank, the bank of the Packers since 1919. Your money works here. Member FDIC.
Thinking about remodeling your bath or shower? Well, turn to Kohler Services, a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, offering fast, professional installation and care for life. You can start enjoying your new bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with installation always included. Again, KohlerServicesWI.com.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Tests are a necessary part of life. They evaluate our ability to handle the things life throws at us. Our floors go through tests too. Pets, kids, spills, scratches, you name it, our floors deal with it. That's where LifeProof flooring comes in. Available in a wide variety of colors and styles for all areas of your home. Whether it's premium pet-proof carpet, waterproof and scratch-resistant vinyl plank, or even outdoor turf, all LifeProof flooring is designed to endure life's toughest tests. Available at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Homer here. There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. And Robert Heck Diamonds knows it too. Because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds. Guys, these are diamonds. They're just grown in a laboratory, which speeds up the process. At Robert Heck Diamonds, you can get a 1-carat diamond for under $600. And 2-carat diamonds, many of which go for under $1,000. Manufacturer prices are dropping fast. And Robert Hack Diamonds wants to help you save money while also giving you a great product. Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. Stop in today. Robert Hack in Greenfield on Layton Avenue or Brookfield on Greenfield Avenue. And shop their whole lab-grown diamond and jewelry selection at roberthackdiamonds.com. Remember, great product, great price. roberthackdiamonds.com.
From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, Tito's Handmade Vodka is there on game day for every fan. Find cocktail recipes at titosvodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll talk to Joe Barry and Rich Bisaccia, Adam Stenovich a little bit later today. Tausch, you made a point, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and Josh has got an interesting stat that I want to get to. You made the point that for all the criticism that Joe Barry takes, some of it warranted, much of it oftentimes not, that this whole defense of not giving up big plays, which is what his system is predicated on in the passing game. Joshy, what's that stat that you unearthed about the run defense versus the pass defense?
Yeah, this comes according to PFF. An explosive running play is defined as a rush of 10 or more yards. The Packers have allowed 30 such rushes this season, which is fourth most in the NFL. If we look at explosive passing plays of 20 yards or plus, in that regard, the Packers defense is eighth fewest in explosive passing plays.
So, Tausch, my question for you is, does it matter that you're not giving up big plays on passes if you're giving up a ton of big plays running the ball? Or is that an accomplishment based on what you're trying to avoid of huge shifts in momentum of big plays on offense passing the football?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to be in the top 4 of giving up 10-plus yards rushing. I mean, I think that's common sense. But what offensive play callers and what I think you've seen more and more of the NFL defensively, especially really when Kansas City had Tyreek Hill, you started seeing more teams say, we can't get beat over the top. I need to force you as an offense to go 15 plays. And if a 10-yard run pops up in there, we can live with that. And then we need to just bow up and hold people to field goals. That was kind of the, when you're facing really good offenses, that's kind of the mentality that I think Belichick, a lot of coaches went with. We're going to, because most of the time what happens, you'll turn it over, you'll have a penalty, and you're going to get a stop that way. Because in today's day and age, when you're playing against good offenses, teams are going for it on fourth down. The Philadelphia Eagles look at it as if it's a 1st and 9, not a 1st and 10. And more teams are utilizing that piece of it, so it's getting more difficult to make stops. But you still have to, what you can't do from an explosive standpoint is give up these long pass plays that are explosive where you're going to score tutters. And I understand Packer fans' frustrations in the fact that we saw way too many gaping holes last week that were 8, 10, 12, 15. I'm okay giving 4 6-yard runs, but you have to adjust and understand what a team is doing. So if Joe Barry's first drive is, well, this is what they're doing on 2nd and 8 versus nickel, they're going to run the ball. I'm not going to sit there all day and let you do that. At some point you have to say, well, this ain't working. Let's do something different. And if that allows you, then you give up a big play over the top, so be it. But it's kind of like, do you want to get, and not to get too graphic here, you want to die of 1,000 paper cuts? Or do you want to get
meat cleaver?
Exactly.
The old cleave.
I knew that was coming. Watch the shoulder. Watch the shoulder.
And I don't know what the answer is. I think most defensive coordinators will take the paper cuts.
The other thought that I have when we're having this conversation, though, is when you look at what they've had to deal with defensively, do you think that A, it's actually kind of impressive, and B, that this is part of the reason why they've been susceptible against the run? We talked about Jaire Alexander earlier in the show. They traded Rasul Douglas. They don't have Eric Stokes, who's still on injured reserve. They played without Darnell Savage, and he's still on IR. And Rudy Ford, who missed a game with a calf injury, then came back last week, now didn't practice yesterday, and we'll see if he practices today. I mean, you're talking about playing Anthony Johnson Jr., Jonathan Owens as your safeties, and Valentine, and Kai Blue Kelly, and Keyshawn Nixon as your slot guy at corner. Like, I don't blame Joe Barry for being nervous about what could happen in the back end and trying to protect himself from things going really, really sideways. Do you?
No, I don't. I think defensive coordinators have a tough job, and the thing I always look at is WWBBD. WWBBD.
What would Bill Belichick do?
Yep. Good work. What would Bill Belichick do? Because you can say that the Patriots stink now, and they do. But there ain't anybody going to tell me that he doesn't know how to slow down offenses and play a good style of defense, even with average players. And you know what Bill Belichick has always done? He has said, you're not beating me with your first or second option. Why did Devontae Adams have big games against the New England Patriots? Because he was their third option at that point.
You're right. Great point.
So I will never have a problem, for as much as I couldn't believe when Ryan Tannehill came into Lambeau and threw for a gobs amount of yards.
333.
Career high. That next day, everybody's crushing Joe Barry, and I said, you would be crushing him more if Derrick Henry ran for 2 bills and 2 tutters, because you knew that's what they were going to do. I don't mind seeing an aberration. What I do not want to see is a average to below average rushing team pound the ball down my stinking throat.
That's what you saw on Sunday.
It's exactly what we saw on Sunday. So it's just always think when you're thinking defensively. WWBBD. And that's what I want.
Which is not the same as BYOB. Bring your own bewaredness. You never know what you're going to get around here. What would Bill Belichick do? Tausch will be making little wristbands that say that on them for coaches that need to check their wrists every so often.
What would Bill Belichick do? Get out of a bad situation in New England and go try to Brady himself with Justin Herbert. That's what I think Bill Belichick's going to do.
Is Bill Belichick running from the grind in New England?
No, he ain't running. They're done with him. Don't you watch the Kraft boys who think they're the architects and the gurus of this whole thing? Sitting up in their little perch saying, that ain't good enough. Ain't good enough. Let's see, Bobby. Let's take a look, Johnny. See how you do it out, Billy. I'm interested in seeing. Maybe they're right. Maybe they are the geniuses that have changed football. I don't think they are.
Which of their voices was that one?
Oh, I wasn't doing a voice impression. I just was doing me.
Oh, okay.
Keeping it real.
Whoa, Joshy.
Good luck, Billy.
Whoa, Joshy is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Tito's handmade vodka is so good and smooth, you can mix it with anything. Now, hear us out. If your usual brunch cocktail sounds like a Tito's Bloody Mary stacked with garnishes is more like Tito's. Sounds pretty good. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It pretty much hurt doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery, and then the knee is not yours, and there's no guarantee that that's going to be successful.
QC Kinetics. Patients around the country are raving about the results. They're getting back their mobility, taking back their lives with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Dalton Reindell of Grafton High School. The senior linebacker making the play of the game on Friday night in state semifinal action against Stoughton, with the fourth quarter reaching crunch time and just a 4-point lead for Grafton. Reindell picked off a Stoughton pass and took it 35 yards to the house for a game-sealing pick-6 score. The Blackhawks' 17-6 win punched a ticket to the Division III title game, and that's their first appearance at state in 40 seasons. Reindell is also a two-sport athlete, lettering as a wrestler for Grafton in his offseason from football. Congratulations to Dalton Reindell as this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, and good luck this week at the state title game.
This is the sweet, sweet sound of you crossing off your holiday list at Festival Foods. Turkey? Check. Crowd-pleasing side dishes from the deli? Check. Fresh baked pie? Check. Better make that pies. Check. We know the holidays can be hectic. We'll be here for you all season long. Festival Foods. Happy to help.
You may already know that Just Sports has one of Wisconsin's largest selection of sports memorabilia, supplies, and novelties. But did you also know that Just Sports has been offering affordable custom framing for over 25 years? At Just Sports, we follow the 5 basic framing principles: service, quality, design, preservation, and value. Not to mention that all custom framing is done in-house. Next time you want to have that special sports or family keepsake creatively framed, stop at Just Sports on 141st and Capitol in Brookfield and see what our certified framing staff can do for you.
From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, Tito's Handmade Vodka is there on game day for every fan. Find cocktail recipes at titosvodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The time has come for Whoa, Joshy.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Alrighty, just a little bit ago, Ricky Weeks and Pat Murphy spoke to the Milwaukee media at their introductory press conference as the new coaching staff members of the Milwaukee Brewers. Got a little audio here from Rookie Weeks I want you guys to react to.
I'm just ready to get started right now. So, again, thank you. Thank you to the city of Milwaukee, Mark, Matt, Murph. Let's fucking go.
I think that's getting me fired up.
Joshy, how do we view Ricky Weeks? Because there are a lot of people that are very excited about this.
Yeah, to me, Ricky Weeks, I think, was pretty high up there in the fan favorite category in terms of players. And I think he also ushered in a time when the Brewers became more fun and interesting. So I think everybody's really excited about him. And I think a lot of people are thinking he might be the actual future of the Brewers franchise in terms of the managing position.
Kind of like the next Craig Counsell, if you will. Tausch on board?
Wow. Sure. I like anybody that drops an F-bomb in their opening presser. I'm on board.
Did you consider that in your Packers Hall of Fame speech or anything at any point? Or
no, I'd go blank and blank instead.
Indeed. Blankety blank. Don't blank back. People are excited. I'm excited for them. Pat Murphy is 62 years old?
Murph Dog. What is it with us having leaders that are called Murph Dog? A lot of Murph Dogs around here.
No relation to Mark Murphy, who I have never called Murph Dog, but I have questioned his qualifications for hiring a head coach, which did not go over very well.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Whoa, Joshy!
Whoa, Nelly!
Over the weekend, the Housekeeping Olympics took place in Las Vegas. Team Bellagio, sorry for the free ad, Tausch, came away with the win in terms of all of the housekeeping tasks. I want to know, if you guys were to compete in the Housekeeping Olympics, you can open this up to more than just cleaning of a hotel room and all that comes with it. What household chore would you be the best at and be able to compete at the Housekeeping Olympics?
Ooh, I like it. Diane Tauscher, meat cleavery.
Yeah, I would not be good at any of them. I don't like doing housework. Just don't like it. I suck at it. I don't want. I Uncle Leon it, as you guys know. Uncle Leon. Yeah, you go out to get the eggs. You break a couple of eggs. Uncle Leon no longer does the egg getting. Oh, I thought you missed 15 spots dusting. Yeah, I'm just not very good at this.
Weaponized
Uncle Leon. An Uncle Leon in it. I don't like doing housework, so is cooking count, or is that not part of the
I'd count it for this.
Is that part of the
it's something that needs
Olympics?
To be
It's the Housekeeping Olympics.
I was just trying to get him to say something nice.
Oh, good thinking, Josh.
I did say something nice. If I had
Uncle
to
Leon.
pick, I don't want to do toilets. That'd be at the top of my I don't want to do list. They got those new funky vacuums that are real bendy and you can kind of move it. Those are kind of fun. I hate dishes. Don't really like doing laundry. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess I'm gonna say vacuuming, but it's not because I really want to. Just because you're forcing me to.
Because they've got those really bendy vacuums, which Tausch is apparently
We're
intrigued
not going to name
by.
them, but there's some cool ones out there.
Well, why would I name them, Josh? Why would I do that?
No, we understand your policy, which on occasion you break, though. It's not really as hard and fast of a policy.
Not very often.
And a lot of times he leads you up to the fountain of what it exactly is and doesn't leave a lot of suspicion about what he could be considering.
They make hamburgers and they have blue roofs. Gee, I wonder who he's talking about.
Single serve coffee. It's a particular brand.
That was a pretty good one. Yes. I am a Ring of Honor laundry guy. I would dominate in this category. I get stains out. I'm really good at folding, organizing, separating between the girls' stuff and Paula's stuff and my stuff. I am a Hall of Fame level laundry guy. Proud to say it. And I won't give any laundry detergent brands any free advertising in the process, even though they help me tremendously to be successful. Whoa, Joshy!
Whoa, Nelly!
Just a few minutes ago, right around 11 a.m., Snoop Dogg tweeted out a image of himself. He has the prayer hands emoji in front of him, and the picture says, "After much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time." Huge news for Snoop Dogg, whose whole identity seems to be around the quote, smoke. What thing would you give up that would shock people like Snoop Dogg giving up smoke would?
Do you actually believe that he's given up smoke?
No, I think there's probably a edible company that he's going to be releasing, and he's giving up smoke for eating it, if I were to guess.
I don't like that, though. That seems very misleading.
Are you going to retire him from smoking like you did Mad Dog?
Mad Dog? No, he didn't
Mad
say,
Dog did it to himself. That's not Tausch.
Snoop's doing it to himself here. No one asked him.
Yeah, no, if he smokes again, I think he has to, I don't know what you do with Snoop. Snoop gets to do whatever he wants. So, what was your question, Joshy? I'm consumed by Snoop smoking right now.
What thing that is core to your identity, much like smoking is to Snoop Dogg's, would you give up that would shock everyone? What's the thing where everyone would be like, what?
Grudge holding for me.
Yeah,
wow, what a great question. You'd go grudge holding?
That would be, if I gave that up, that would go against my brand for sure.
So, and this seems like this is like a cop-out answer, but I have this new
vacuum cleaner
backpack. No, this backpack that I wear everywhere, and I'm telling you, I get more compliments. It's a big, wide-backed leather backpack.
Oh, you got a wide
take it
back.
to all my Badger stuff. I travel with it now. It's everywhere. Matter of fact, I had somebody from the UW come up to me and say, "What do you all got in there? Do you have a radio Comrex unit in there? Like, why are you always using that backpack? Because I love it, and I want to break it in.
Can we see
I'm
it?
wearing it everywhere. It's in every time I come into the Everlight Solar Studio office. It's in there. I don't have it with me. But if I was to switch bags right now, people would be freaked out by it.
Do you use this bag so much where it's the level where you find excuses to put stuff in the bag or to bring along with you?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I've been there.
Yeah, I love it. Yep, love it. Well, and ironically, so this is an ironic deal. I got a duffel bag. Because when I travel, I usually loved the duffel bag because it's so versatile. You could smush it together and you could shove it in the overhead compartments. Oh, this is rigid leather that I cannot seem to break down. Like, I want it to get soft so it's nice and
worn look,
comfy,
a little
supple. Yeah, I want it to get that worn look. Josh, you know what I'm talking about.
We're on the same.
I had this, and it was a 2000 NFL Rookie Symposium duffel bag that I had to rewire and utilize because it was my good luck charm as my travel component. I benched this for my leather bag. Whoa. 22 years this duffel bag made trips with me.
Oh.
And it is now retired. Had a good one. Really good.
I feel like this needs more than just a toss-in on Whoa Nelly. This is monumental, life-changing stuff for you.
This really is. This would be like you giving up Coors or Tito's.
Yeah. Is this gonna get? Is that bag, the duffel, get hang in the rafters? We're gonna have a display. What are we doing?
It should. No, it should. I have not. It's definitely worthy. I have some old hats that I'm gonna. If we ever get to hanging any pictures or anything in our house, I will
you gave
make
away
sure
all your
that
hats.
a hat.
Well, that was just
some. That didn't go over as well.
Tell me with the TV.
Am I to understand you correctly that your house that you've now lived in for a decent amount of time has nothing on the walls?
Not nothing, but very few things. It is a point of contention. I do not know if Sarah's listening today, so I'm not going to bring that up. But yeah, it's I don't understand. We have all this great not art, but a lot of really cool stuff. And it's all just piled up at places. Super frustrating, yeah. But,
well, maybe
again,
for your housekeeping
I'm not going to bring it up
Olympics,
today.
you should hang
I don't
stuff.
want Joshy. So if Sarah's listening and she's getting irritated, it's on Josh. I did not bring that up.
Hey, I'll take that one for you today.
I don't know if you want to. Get a little
Joshy, what would yours be?
Yeah, what would yours be?
What are you giving up?
Yeah.
I was thinking mine was
I
pretty
think I
easy.
know.
It's drinking
No, I
Coors
think I
Lights,
know.
of course.
Yeah.
I talk about it with
What
a
is
lot of
it?
my friends. I like to say I drink 1,000 Coors Lights at a time. I don't actually do that, spoiler alert, but having a couple pops with the buds. That's what I like to do.
You never answered the home.
That's what you're giving up? Yeah. What is going on here?
That's the thing that would be as shocking. I have no plan to, but it's similar to Snoop giving up smoke and you giving up your backpack, me giving up barley pops with the buds.
Yeah, I ain't giving up that backpack. Not knowing
Edible
I ain't
Coors.
giving that backpack up. I'm nervous because there's rivets. I am very nervous. It has been a year, and I have used this backpack. I'm nervous because the straps, they're nice and wide and comfy. I just hope, I got my fingers crossed, it's going to hold up for decades. But I'm nervous.
Where did this, if I may, where did this backpack come from? I know you're not going to give out the brand name, but
No, I will not. It's not a brand. It is a. When we were out in Montana, we were going through one of these little marketplaces, and there was a leather dude that was doing stuff. And I saw this
Leather
backpack,
dude.
and I thought, this thing is sick. Old girl took notes because she's very thoughtful, and then she was measuring my back like an inordinate amount of times. So I had a hunch, and then last Christmas,
Wait, this was custom.
old boy.
What?
No, it's custom made. It is a bad you-know-what blank and blank, and I blank and love it. So I just I'm hopeful it holds up for a long time.
22 years, like your duffel bag from the rookie symposium.
It's not. I'm not going to put those kind of expectations. Just like I'm not putting those expectations on Jordan Love. I just want to have a nice, solid career with this leather duffel backpack, whatever it is.
Sarah Tauscher is, in fact, listening to the program. She says there's too much stuff. Hard to figure out a plan on what to hang on the walls. So I don't think you got yourself in trouble there, which is a win for all of us. So, Sarah, thank you for your service. We will wrap things up with or without Sarah. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Prize Picks, the most fun I've had, winning up to 25x on my money during the football season, and now I get to play during the basketball season as well. You get to select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and you just place an entry. Pretty simple. And now you get to pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports or leagues. So for me, I'm going to go Jordan Love, and then I'll go Giannis and Dallas Dame. If I want to go 3-pointers made, rushing touchdowns, can do it. Prize Picks is that simple to play. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app.
Go to prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/WI, code WI.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay, and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Could we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
It's a new era on the diamond in Milwaukee.
I can tell you that with these coaches out here, with Ricky, we're going to band together and we'll have these guys ready to compete.
A really new era.
I'm just ready to get started right now. So let's go.
The next era of Brewers baseball is here. React with us all off-season long. 94.5 ESPN.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Hey, Tony, we haven't seen you since the golf outing. How's your game?
Same as last year. Terrible.
Hey, that's all right. Mike is brutal on the course.
I'm a little better at swinging a hammer. Are you better with your hammer? Maybe you could join our team at PCI.
Oh, I can hammer. We should talk.
We're always looking to add good people to our team. To learn more, visit us at professionalconstructioninc.com/careers.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Before we wrap things up, Tausch, I would like your advice. As I mentioned, Joe Barry, Rich Bisaccia, Steno, the whole crew talking this afternoon, and I'll be there. Do I bring up to Joe Barry the defensive ends, outside linebackers? Do I make a wisecrack to kind of get things started with him? Would you recommend that as a technique, or do you think that would be a mistake?
No, definitely do it. And then hopefully you can use, just like Costanza, when he had that great line about jerk stores, when old boy was giving him grief about shoveling shrimp in. You can now get what you could have done to LaFleur when you talk about Preston Smith. You can zing him with the nickelback slot corner Preston Smith. That will be hilarious. I don't think you're going to do it. Maybe put it off on Demovsky. It would be awesomely funny. Listen, at Packers.com, they want to get clicks, man. They get it. They want clicks, too. Throw it out there. See what happens.
Okay. But
do it in a fun way. You got to do it in a fun way.
Okay, so they're outside linebackers and defensive ends and also slot corners, depending on the situation. Is that my understanding the system correctly, Joel?
Yes. Yeah, and then you can get into why they're playing so wide. Because the substantive part of this we're all interested in.
Right. That's the worst part. It's gotten no attention. The actual idea of the question, which was not flawed. All right. Well,
welcome to today's world, my friend. Welcome to today's world.
I am new here. All right. Congratulations on your year-old backpack that you shared. People are now very excited about the backpack.
It's not a year. Not a year yet.
You're right. Christmas isn't coming, but it's not.
Let me tell you something. That big, wide-backed bag has seen some things. We've had a good year, and hopefully we'll just keep plugging along.
And what a thoughtful wife. What a thoughtful gift giver.
Absolutely.
Totally
agree.
How did she tell you why she was measuring your back?
Well, I had an idea. I had an idea, but you got to play the
Hey,
game.
honey, I need to measure your back. Why? Oh, no reason. Just curious.
Nice suit coat.
All right. That's it for us. We will do it again tomorrow. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks to Ryan Grant. Thanks to Josh DiMaggio as our cousin sub of the day. And thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Everywhere you look, from groceries to utilities to gas, prices keep going up. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round by replacing drafty windows and doors in as little as 6 weeks. And now you can save even more by taking advantage of no interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.